welcome to a Shadowfell Symphony. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Liz, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. For those of you who are new to Dungeons and Dragons, everyone here plays fantasy characters in a fantasy universe. The 5 players each have their own unique character, with sheets that tell them who they are, what they can do, their deepest desires, and what dice to roll. They will mostly be rolling a 20-sided dice, which I yet again have forgotten to put on my desk, but if someone could thank you, Chris, saving the day once again. They'll be mostly rolling a 20-sided die to see if they succeed in what they are trying to do. The higher the roll, the more likely they're going to succeed. 20 is good, 1 is pretty bad, but I like them. They're my favourite when they happen. While they play their... yes, that lucky feat. It's not even a feat, it's just a trait.
Halflings,
isn't it?
Can't roll ones. Unless they roll 2 ones
cuties.
in a row.
Unfortunately, we do not have any halflings in this party, but while this lot play their characters, everything else is played by me. So overgrown greenhouses, dragon turtles, strange rune stones on creatures, that sort of thing. Between me describing the world and the story, the players describing what they want to do, and some dice rolls to keep things interesting, we will tell our tale. My name's Liz. I use she, her, they, them, and I'm just going to ask everybody here to introduce themselves, their characters, pronouns for both, and how you're feeling after last episode. And I think I'm going to start with Rebecca.
Hello, I am Rebecca.
Hello.
I use she, her pronouns. I play Harmony, who does the same. She is normally a very cheerful little paladin. Turns out Harmony doesn't like it when she can't sleep. She got very, very tired out hitting a lot of things very, very hard. And then the silly egg wouldn't stop playing Total Eclipse of the Heart. And Hunk wouldn't stop snoring. And it was just impossible to sleep. And it turns out now Harmony is not cheerful. So we'll see quite how... What's hangry, but for sleep deprived? Sangry?
Sangrimony?
Slingry.
Sangria sounds like sangria, which is presumably not what you're going for.
Well,
also, you try having a nose that size and not snoring. I'm just saying.
Oh, no shame, just a statement of fact. So yes, we'll see how slangry Harmony can get before we get some sleep.
Before we sort of descend into evil paladin territory.
I've broken my oath. Why? Because I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Now that I could identify with.
Oh, such a great character. I'm writing it down.
Oathbreaker paladin, the sleepy kind. Thank you, Rebecca. I'll move on over to John. John, do tell us things.
Hello.
Hello.
Things. My name is John. I'm playing Heimlink. Heimlink?
Heimlink.
Hello, I am Heimlink.
Heimlink.
I'm trying to think of what noise Link makes.
We both use he, him pronouns, and he had a slight sense of dread at the beginning of last episode, and I think that's just increasing. Exploding runes, shadowy city, big potentially naked statues on the horizon. Yeah,
that's why I'm here.
That's why we're all turning back up, right?
You promised me. It's in my contract.
Like a low level of existential creeping dread, I think, which feels apt for...
Good. Well, thank you, John. And with that, I'll move over to Chris. Do tell us how you're doing, how Hunk is doing.
Hello, I'm Chris. I use they them pronouns, and I am playing Hunk, who also uses they them pronouns. And Hunk is fine. Hunk's always fine.
Yeah.
Hunk's basic modus operandi is everything is fine until it really isn't, and even then it'll be fine. Yeah, Hunk revealed a bit of their backstory, which was nice, being a sort of abandoned Doctor Who companion at some point. Yeah, that's a little nugget I put in there just for me. Yeah, and we're in the Shadowfell. I don't think Hunk really understands what that means yet. I think despite experience of plane hopping, they don't really get it. So, yeah, it's all about keeping everyone healthy, hearty, and happy, and people in the party are not healthy, happy, and happy. So I think there's a certain amount of Hunk going concern for friends at this point in time until we can find somewhere to bed down.
And concern for ghosts, I believe. There was...
Oh, yeah. Hunk does not like ghosts at all. Like, everything else, not even a smidgen? Not even not even a smidgen of fear, but ghosts in particular, just for some reason, heebie-jeebies. Oh, I know why. One random dice roll, that's why.
Nice. D&D, the game where the dice decide.
It's not a big backstory thing. We shouldn't all be leaning into it.
No, we're leaning into this now.
Good to know, okay.
It can't hurt you if they can't see you.
No, we encountered some ghosts in the first episode.
That works, right?
Yeah, we encountered some ghosts in the first episode, and I rolled to do something, and I rolled a 1 and went, okay, what's that story-wise? Oh, it's because I'm scared of the ghost we just encountered. And then decided that was going to be a defining feature from then on in.
This is why I love D&D. You can just make the stuff up as you go along.
Suddenly, you're an expert on demolishing buildings.
That's it. 100%. Thank you, Chris. I will move over to Sam. Sam, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and how they are doing right now.
It feels like just 2 days before yesterday that we all met here last. I'm Sam, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Reginald Peggio, who also uses he, him pronouns. And Reggie is feeling really not great. Just based on the events of our last session, there seems to be a distinct lack of guitar solos happening, and I think there might be even fewer happening in just a few minutes.
Good to know. Thanks, Sam. I always call you Reggie then, and that's not your name in real life. It is now.
Worked. Right? The plan has worked.
It has.
Self-actualization, actualizing a guitar. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam/Reggie. And with that, lastly, Ali, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and how they're doing right now.
I'm Ali. I hope my horns can stay with me the whole session.
They look amazing.
I use he, him pronouns, and I play Teseli, who also uses he, him pronouns. Teseli had a dip into Hemlich's mind and was fascinated by the emotions that Hemlich experienced before the Hemlich event. And I think he had a lot of fun turning Hemlich large or huge ape into a gigantic ape.
Yep, that was amazing.
Let's see what Gargantuan find this time.
Oh,
well.
Can I throw in a side note here? Something I'm really enjoying. We are all saying Heimlich because that's the German pronunciation, and Ali says Heimlich, which is nice because a lot of our fans are pretty convinced that Heimlich is some kind of lich.
So keep on going, Ali. I love it. So please do. In fact, I might start doing it too, just to really confuse the fans.
Is it subtext or is it just a mistake? We'll never know.
Foreshadowing something.
Wait till they latch onto Heimlich. We're in a whole different ballgame now.
Can we get a floppy hat?
Ancient evil wizard or a cute little elf? I don't know where we're going to go with character.
Boo.
Oh no, my sword is broken again.
Yeah, that's one thing that they put in the new games that really annoyed me.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Look, it's part of every survival game. There's some certain survival aspects you have to have breakable things, otherwise it doesn't really work.
It's actually the third day of AAA is ass-bogglingly miserable weapon degradation.
Okay, so.
Right?
Ass-boggling, I think I need to keep.
I should have thought that one.
I'm going to Google that phrase. Ass-boggling.
Oh, I'd recommend not. That's a rabbit hole you don't want to be down right now. Wait till we're done.
This stream will run for 3 hours.
And then we're back to Googling.
And there will be a 5 to 10 to 15 minute break somewhere in the middle. We don't know when that will fall because this is all improvised. We are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. With Hero Forge, you can easily make custom minis right in your web browser. Every sort of accessory, creature type, and costume is available to choose from, and they keep expanding their list of items and options, so keep checking that out at heroforge.com. They have loads of new stuff at the moment. They keep sending stuff out. It's so cool.
It's pretty cool.
I saw a thing where you could have 2 things on one mount the other day.
Yeah, they've added, you can have 2 minis on the same mount, which is really cool if you have got like duo pairings or like people are using it for familiars or steel defenders. And if we could make an egg.
Familiars.
Yeah.
They're customizable.
Not yet. They haven't done that yet. That's been announced.
But will be soon.
Will be soon. I'm really sad we can't make an egg. I was really tempted to try and make an egg for Sele, but
Or if Vulcan and Kato came back.
Exactly. Lorcan and Cato could be on the same one if they were coming back. Exactly. Or Sean, who does a lot of our Hero Forge mini design, has already done a version of Old Georgie with Robert the Robot Rat. So there's
Who is
there's some
always
fun
there.
stuff. Yeah, always there.
We are also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They do loads of stuff from character folios to dice bags. They make all sorts of stuff. They even have a flumph. Flumph? I love them. I love flooms. Here is my gazer. And I found this the other day. This is just something that I happen to have. These are the binders that they do. And if you play old school D&D on occasion, you will have spell cards,
Absolutely.
which is super helpful. So do check that out. I believe like Magic the Gathering cards can fit in there too.
I've got a magic box from them. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So yeah, if you are in Twitch chat today, just say something nice, preferably about one of us, maybe. And you will be entered into a random draw to win a gift voucher. Ask those mods, the mods that we love and adore, for more info. You can find out about all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com. We are also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, who are the premium purveyors of bespoke gaming-themed gear. They make dice boxes, deck box rolling trays disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, such as this one.
Very nice.
Rebecca, do you have yours today?
Oh, I do. I didn't want to rub it in people's faces too often, but look, it's
Every time I
so
show
shiny. It has
every time I show off
fire
my
on it.
codex, same thing. Everyone gets really excited.
And then dice.
They make a very pleasing sort of snapping noise when the magnets go back together. And they smell nice. Always good.
Really nice.
Yep. You can currently get 10% off your Elderwood purchase with the code roll-together at checkout. So find out more at elderwoodacademy.com. Next up are our supporters. We are also supported by D&D Beyond, who are amazing. We use D&D Beyond all the time. I even use it when we're not playing, to look at monsters and stuff. Because, hey, why not? You can find all of the digitized D&D Wizards books on there as well. So definitely worth checking out. It makes your dice rolls really quick and easy. If you are watching today, you will see everyone's character sheets on the overlay on the left-hand side of the screen. Chris is pointing. Thank you, Chris. D&D Beyond.
I'm mirrored, so it's everyone else point the wrong way. There you go.
It would be great if I knew my left from my right. It's fine. D&D Beyond describes your spells and does your dice rolls for you, tells you what your conditions are, helps you do death saving throws, that sort of thing. So yeah, go to D&D Beyond and check them out. We are also supported by Level Up Dice. There is a link in chat for our Mahusive Table Shakers range. Mahusive. There we are. And we are also supported by two lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep. Both are awesome. You can have them on your phone, on your PC. I believe Sam has recently...
On the Switch.
On the Switch. Ooh, check you out with your Switch.
I'm never going to work again.
You can see codes at the bottom of the screen that begin with exclamation marks. You can type these into Twitch chat for download links. Ask those mods, as ever, for more help if you haven't understood a word I have said. For Idle Champions, there is a code you can enter directly into the game below, or type exclamation point code into Twitch chat for a gold chest. Electrum chest? Electrum chest. Whereas for Warriors of Waterdeep, type in WoW gems into Twitch chat for a link. Free gems.
It's Warriors of Waterdeep gems. It's WoW gems, not
It's WoW gems.
Okay.
It's really exciting, Chris. You don't understand.
WoW gems.
I mean, I'm really excited about the gems. Don't get me wrong. Need to upgrade Pickle.
We are Rolled Together RPG on all socials. There will be links in chat. Do like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat. Hi, John. Are you waving to our D20 Club on Patreon?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hi,
Are you
D20
waving
Club.
me? Hello.
Hello, D20 Club. Hello.
Hello. You can help us make our shows from just £1 or $1 and unlock more tiers by joining. Our shows are available as podcasts. Just search Roll Together RPG on your favourite podcasting app. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players and characters in our game. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we are open to being corrected, so please do let us know if you think that one has been missed. And now, I think we should go into the totally chaotic episode of a Shadowfell Symphony. And we are back. We are back. What? What happened last time? Normally I would like for you to tell me, but I can tell you if you like.
We can tell you if you like.
Oh, tell me. You tell me.
One word at a time. Let's go.
That's terrible. No, not doing that. Well, does someone else? I've got quite a good memory, so I'm happy to pass the buck unless it becomes a Chris recite from your weird memory.
You volunteered. Knock yourself out.
Share your secrets.
We arrived in the Shadowfell at the end of the episode before that, but we were sort of there properly having a look around. We all wanted to get a better sense of where we were. There were various checks rolled. I meandered off to find some glass to look out a window where it was water, at which point I meandered back and said, there's water out there. Swifty was sent to patrol and look for an exit. We moved forward together, rolling various checks again. As I moved forward, I walked into a circular ring, where half the circle was red, half the circle was blue, of conical shaped things that we spent a long time rolling various things about. What is this? What does it do? We found magic runes on them. Sorry.
Yes. May I just tell you my most treasured note from last game? Tiselli blew the shell, then got his rod out. That was my favourite note.
That did indeed happen. The innuendo was strong. But,
Yes.
When blowing something strange has gone wrong. Never.
I'd second that. Yeah. So we found magical runes on these, one of which exploded. I think when Heimlich cast a spell on it, but I'm not 100% sure on
Identify, yep.
As it exploded for a small amount of damage, the blue shells moved out of the ground, revealing themselves to be a massive dragon, turtle, toad thing.
Dragon toad.
Giant one. Yeah.
And it was a gargantuan creature, no less.
It was.
We got into combat with it. All four of us who were not Harmony did various things, and Harmony basically hit it super hard and did loads of damage to it. And then Heimlich went, "Two can play that game," turned into a massive ape, at which point Tisele made the massive ape a gargantuan ape using enlarge, reduce, and landing in its hand like a damsel in distress. Very important. During all of this, Reggie kept pulling random stiletto shoes, not stiletto knives, out of his coat and chucking them at it, throwing his keytar at it, none of which was very effective.
I tried.
I loved it.
I made
It's taking part, right?
I made its insides all molassesy for reasons, and then Heimlich picked up the toad by its tongue and King Konged it through the window and away. At which point we all went, that happened, and tried to have a short rest, but tried to have a long rest, but rest would not find us. We got a short rest, I think, and that was
We did.
what we could do, which left Harmony very cross. Swifty at this point was being used to give us a song of rest, which was Total Eclipse of the Heart. Which I then covered on the ukulele. I then did some backstory reveals. There was also some other backstory reveals that were brought up as Reggie appears to be a skeleton. None of us really know what's going on there, but part Shadowfell was sort of hinted at, but that's about as far as we got with all of that. We then headed outside of the greenhouse and we were on an island. There are two islands to the east and west, I believe, Liz, is that right?
Correct, yeah.
There are 2 bridges going east and west. One is slightly submerged, which is the one that we crossed. Those 2 bridges then lead to 2 larger bridges, which head towards a larger central island, which appears to have a sort of Shadowfell-y city on it. One bridge led to a sort of shadowy docks, and one bridge led to a massive temple district with 4 massive obsidian nude statues holding a pyramid. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Definitely nude, 100%.
Was it a pyramid they were holding? Was it some kind of temple structure?
It was basically a huge cathedral.
Huge cathedral. Okay. The dog agrees. At which point we decided to go towards the naked people. I mean, temple district. And
Potentially naked people.
yeah. No, they're definitely naked now. Crossed out of the greenhouse across the submerged bridge, where there were lots of ghosts again. Typical. Made our way across the submerged bridge to the first of these smaller islands, which will lead to the temple district. On that small island, we found half a clock tower. Is that right, Liz? A clock tower with half of it sheared off?
Yeah, it was like a clock tower, but like one of the sides was almost completely missing.
Yeah, and that's all I remember.
Honestly, that was the best recollection of what we did. That was amazing.
Did you take notes?
No.
Wow.
Terrifying.
You're an enigma.
Yes. Okay.
Have an
That was
eidetic memory,
amazing.
it's fine.
Wow. Yeah, so what Chris said was basically my notes from what happened last time. That was amazing, Chris. Thank you. The only point that happened at the very end was that Reggie's keytar the entire time had been gradually humming louder and louder and louder, and seemed to be getting louder the further you got to the naked people in the temple-y area.
Oh, yes, it did.
In my memory, there's a box called Reggie Shenanigans, which I didn't really unpack that much.
It's meant to be a very serious character. I don't know how this happened.
His keytar got recharged by a flower that was shoved into the battery port, which somehow worked.
It totally worked. It worked. So yeah, we'll sort of start with you walking across the sort of broken, half-submerged walkway onto this smaller island. That clock tower that you saw is about 50 foot away from you, and the island itself is about 200 foot total in length. It's really not that big. What would you like to do?
I think I asked this last episode, but I'll do it in character. Is everyone feeling okay? No one needs a bit of healing or general boosting, G'ing up.
I would just like to take the time to apologize once again for the crimes I may have committed against you at the end of the last part of our adventure.
Oh yeah, you blinded me.
Or you can see now.
Yeah.
And canonically now, Swifty is a support egg.
Support egg.
Support egg.
Hey, I appreciated the gesture at the time, and I still do, even though no time has passed.
I'm glad. I appreciate your appreciation of my appreciation of you.
Reggie, why are you a skeleton?
Oh well,
To the point.
would you look at the time? He gestures towards the clock tower.
Yeah, you gesture to the side that does not have a clock face. You can look around to see where the clock face is, and you can't see where it fell.
Am I a skeleton?
You don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to push you.
I think this may be I'm a fearbog. I'm very old and resultantly I'm a little bit dusty, but otherwise I'm fine.
Okay, bud. Okay.
Thanks.
Do you want to make a deception check for me, please, Reggie?
That is a 4 plus 8, 12.
Hunk, you can determine how sold you are on that last
My
sentence.
passive insight's a 17, but I'm not the kind of person to push. It's just an okay.
Mine's a 13. Reggie, whenever you're ready to tell us whatever you want to tell us, we are here for you. We were your friends at school, in your own time, my friend. But we're here, and we feel like you are hiding something, and you don't necessarily have to.
That it means a lot.
Also, I can dispel magic, so if you
I'd rather you did.
creepy skeleton bullshit on us and try to kill us, we will end you. You've seen what Harmony can do. She's fucking terrifying.
How did this become? Are we going to take him down.
I mean, I didn't want to make things uncomfortable, but yeah, as they're already uncomfortable. Reggie, we are sort of in a different dimension trying to stop a creepy ass black portal of death, and you're a skeleton. I don't want to throw words around like you owe us anything and you don't, but an explanation would help us to trust you, because you've been gone a while and now you're a skeleton. You can see why we're a bit if
I were a skeleton, which might be dependent on whether the DM wants you to roll persuasion, but if I were, I come from a place where skeletons have all kinds of normal jobs. They go about life like normal people, and I don't like the accusation that I am somehow other.
That was fun.
I think, Reggie, if you had always been a skeleton, I don't think any of us would bat an eyelid. You know, there are all sorts of the Bard College. Magnificent musicians are made from very many different types of people, but it's the fact that you weren't a skeleton and now you are a skeleton. Or tell you what, hypothetically, if someone was at music college in Waterdeep, not you don't know, but use your magnificent creative imagination. If someone, say a bit like you, was at music college in Waterdeep, then vanished, then came back on like Doomsday as a skeleton and was like, everything's fine.
With a guitar?
Yeah, if that helps you to imagine it, then could you just go on this like imaginative journey with me? What do you think might have happened to them?
I can't speak from experience, but
of course not. You're just really creative.
Friends, perhaps they you sound really creative. I have a 9 intelligence. Perhaps
creativity is not intelligence based.
Just throw shoes at it, Reggie. Just throw shoes.
Perhaps they may have left the city under some unforeseen circumstances, and in a fit of rage, found an interesting musical instrument and glossed over the paperwork and accidentally sold their soul for a guitar.
Okay. And do you think in this short story that we're writing, the selling the soul to this strange entity would result in this musician becoming a skeleton sometimes?
I think it might have resulted in them being pretty good at playing the guitar.
Do you think the scary entity in this, collective imagining would pose a risk to any of their fellow travelers?
Can't say I met him.
Harmony thinks she's pushed it far enough.
That's really... Sorry, bud. I will go towards Reggie in an attempt at it's a little like, this is going to be a hug unless you don't want it to be a hug, and then it'll probably just be like a squeeze on the shoulder, and if you don't want that, it'll probably just be like a gentle stand near you.
Reggie will stand still, not rejecting the hug, and as you kind of come in, sort of subtly wrap his arms around you without anyone else realizing that he's gone in for a hug.
Sure.
Anyway, the time.
Yes, and indeed, speaking of guitars, which I have not encountered before, actually, no, I need to clarify this before I start asking. How perceptibly is the guitar being louder in terms of us noticing it?
When you were in the greenhouse, you had like the little hum and you thought it was just you. And then the further you've walked, the more positioned that noise has become, and you've realized that it definitely is coming from the guitar. Sorry, from the guitar, excuse me. The further you are traveling across this island, the louder it is getting.
Is it like distortion or is it like static? What are we talking?
It's like it's got the range of the guitar, of the guitar. Of the guitar, and then it gets lower than the lowest key on there, and lower and lower.
Right.
Like as low as it can go.
Is it broken? I mean, you do throw it at things a lot.
I don't think it can break.
Reggie, from your perspective, there's a heartbeat noise coming from somewhere, but you're not sure where that's coming from.
It's just, it is an exceptional, incredible instrument, Reggie. Your friend Maurice, as you have styled him, and he feels very present at the moment. which maybe is great. I don't know, but it feels a new thing.
You know, your skeleton quartet.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, when we're talking about the positive skeletons in our lives, I have my friend Helga and Gunther and those other guys. They're great fun. If I don't the animate that spell again in 24 hours, yes, they do sometimes try to kill me. But you know,
this guitar is a little bit like Helga.
Oh.
Should I try and fix it?
You can see if it'll let you.
Can I pick up Maurice?
Yeah, you can
Hold
take
Maurice, and I'll start casting Mending on it.
Okay. As you pick up Hunk, as you pick up the guitar, Reggie, the heartbeat gets quicker.
Am I sure it's not my own heartbeat?
100% not your own heartbeat.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's intelligence 9, is he, Phil?
Well,
Just had to check.
you can roll intelligence if you like.
I think it's probably best we don't, because
Okay.
inevitably.
It's not getting, the heartbeat is not getting quicker. It doesn't feel like a good thing to you. It feels like a panicked heart as it's passed away from you at this point. Mending, Hunk, as you're sort of putting your hands around this guitar, this is not a euphemism, you turn it over to where the battery pack was, and you see that the little flower within becomes less bruised in its little indent, but the guitar itself still humming. But Reggie, from your perspective, it seems quite worried.
Punk, I think you should get that back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nothing personal. And Reggie shunts the guitar off into its place that it lives.
Cool. You do that, and it comes right back at you from the other side. You shunt it to the left, and it comes back.
Reggie tries to the left again.
Okay, and again, comes back.
And a third time.
Same again.
Right this time.
Yeah, same again.
Reggie's gonna throw it in the sea.
Spladoosh.
And now Reggie's gonna try and shunt it into its dimension from the sea.
Got you. It comes back over your head, and like a bucket of water just goes straight over you.
Well, this is peculiar.
Reggie,
I'm gonna lean over to Tassel and say, "Is he doing a bit?"
Reggie, are you doing that on purpose?
I wish I was.
The rest of you watch as Reggie is having a little minute to himself.
This like comedian routine or something?
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm gonna beat your ass, Maurice, if you don't stop messing around. Reggie has a stiletto in his hand.
DM.
Yes.
So I don't remember. So probably it's a question as well for Reggie. Well, for Sam. So last session I casted Detect Thoughts. I don't know if Reggie had Maurice at that time. It was probably at the very beginning of the session.
I don't think, because Maurice was summoned when the creature appeared.
Okay.
Maurice was hanging out in the
Where
both
Maurice
of the zombies.
belongs. Yes.
So Thessaly sees everything and wonders, what if? And points at Maurice and says, Maurice, can you hear me? And I'm going to use message, the cantrip.
On Maurice.
On Maurice. I mean, it says that. Just to see if there is any consciousness in Maurice.
Yeah, you cast a spell. Reggie, in your mind, you hear the heartbeat getting louder as a result of that spell being cast.
What message are you sending?
Hey, Maurice, can you hear me?
Maurice begins to play the first few notes of Europe's The Final Countdown.
From, oh my goodness, the Sally is not really good. Okay, I'm gonna roll an insight.
Sally's fabulous. Don't put Sally down.
There's a natural one. So I wanted to see if
Put Sally down.
to see if those music could be of a aggressive or friendly, sort of like don't bother me or yes, I can hear you.
I don't know if in Europe's the final countdown is aggressive or not.
It's uplifting while still being deeply threatening.
Is it in a minor key? With that natural one to Sally, it's hard to tell, but the rest of you would get a sort of panicked creature in a corner vibe from it.
Okay. Sally won't say anything, so let me see. I think visual, somatic, and so everybody saw me casting something, but nobody heard the message, so I'm gonna say nothing.
Okay, cool. And as all these shenanigans are going on with poor Maurice, who just wants to be left alone, you notice that Swifty has begun to make its way across to the clock tower, which is about 30 foot away from you at the moment. Swifty begins just scratching at the ground.
Sorry, guys. Swifty is usually really perceptive, and I think he found something.
Okay.
He's not alert, so I guess it's nothing like a threat, but just let's try to keep an eye.
Does he need to go to the toilet? Do you need a little egg bag to?
Leg wee.
Is that what he is digging for?
Yes, but he usually just put more glitter and rhinestones, so it's fine.
So it is true what they say about unicorns.
Yes. Well, yeah, this conversation is really interesting. Shall we continue it after? Or maybe with a cup of tea? I don't know, just somewhere else.
Try to get to the city?
I think Maurice would.
Oh, I mean, the temple. Is the temple in a city or just the temple?
The temple is within a huge city. Yeah, you're able to see that when you flew up. You saw the whole city.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna walk to Swifty. Hey, boy, what did you find?
Like, you know when a dog's just like burying in the earth with its little paw legs, I guess? You see that Swifty unearths two things. The first of which appears to be quite long. It's not a rod, it is a plaque. This plaque reads, it's made of copper, and it says, kept in good time and good condition by Nerix Crimple. In a sort of separate little hole where Swifty has been digging, you see he unearths this golden signet ring.
Is it humanoid size?
It is humanoid size, and you see it looks like a noble insignia. So there's a crown, and on top of the crown in gold is the letter R.
Clean it, gonna put it on. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, what I found.
Selling his jewelry. Bless him.
What's that?
I'm going to lean over to Harmony and be like, do you think he's going to curse him, or kill him, or either?
I wish I knew. At this point, I normally just watch, see what happens, and then try and pick up the pieces afterwards.
Okay, I say 5 gold pieces for curse. Do you want to take any of the other odds?
Gambling is against the rule of Mistra.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll take it.
Doesn't Mistra have like a casino? I think so.
There could be a casino. You don't know.
Shadowfell Casino.
Yeah. I'm like in this moment. As
Brilliant roulette. It's all black.
As you've had this conversation with Harmony, your passive perception is pretty high. It's like 19, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You notice that several patches of water, which are sort of 30 foot away from this tower, and the shore's kind of stony, but the water itself, perhaps as a result of a keytar being thrown into it, there's like little bubbles coming up in different patches, and it's bubbling and rippling.
Do we get sort of plaintive final countdown notes going on from the
Did we upset Maurice?
Has everyone seen this, or just Heimlich?
It's just Heimlich at this point with that passive.
My friends, there is some bubbling happening in this water. I don't know if that is good, I don't know if that is bad, but it is something.
Could it be a friend from earlier?
Make a nature check. You will all be sort of looking the right way. You can make a nature check to determine if it's the right size.
I mean, forgive me, but I'm looking at Teseli's ring.
I would expect nothing else.
Okay. 5 + 1. That's 6.
8 for me.
Oh, okay. Sure. It's absolutely the thing that you threw into the sea on the other side of the other island. 100%.
I'd like to cast Lightning Lure, please.
Ooh. Where at? And tell me what the saves are.
At the bubbles, it is well, I guess it kind of depends. If there's something there, it's a strength save. And we'll pull it back up to us.
And the wording of the spell, is it like you target a creature, or is it an area that you target?
A creature of your
A creature. Understood. Okay. We'll go for a patch of bubbles. So let's just have a look.
Creature.
Strength save, did you say?
Yep.
Okay. I got a 3.
It was a threshold of 16.
We didn't beat it. No. So it takes damage, right?
So what it does is it pulls the whatever it is up to 10 feet in a straight line towards me and deals no damage unless it comes within 5 feet of me.
Got you.
In which case it's 2d8.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to pull it within 10 foot of you. You see coming out of the water first, humanoid, but any semblance of life or humanistic features are completely drained away from it. It has hollows where its eyes should be, but maybe tiny little eyelids just in the indent. It has a huge gaping mouth, which kind of where the nose would be of a skull all the way down to the bottom jaw. That's the kind of length that you're looking at. It's got on sort of brown robes, and on the front of the robes looks to be a mace, and the top of the mace is made of a skull. And as you do that, Reggie, you notice that 4 other of these are beginning to hoist themselves out of the water. And I'm going to need everybody to roll some initiative, please.
It's nothing combat based. It's just for flavour.
Yeah.
In the time just before an initiative, can I just silently hand Heimlich 5 gold?
Amazing. Yes.
It could be just
I'm
a
using.
coincidence, right? It wasn't summoned by the ring, right?
My favorite things in D&D Alley are consequences.
Oh.
Someone really wise said that in an interview a couple of
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm using the D&D Beyond encounter tracker, so Rebecca, do tell me your rolls. Ooh,
7.
Nice. 7. There you go. Died.
No.
Thank you.
Sam's in God mode.
Okay, so I've got everybody here. That's great. So, did you roll your damage? Oh no, we didn't do damage for the lightning. No, that's fine.
It didn't come within 5 feet. Although it will just, I suppose, be released at some point back into the sea. Assuming that it didn't come back on land, so just drop it back in.
Cool.
No,
so
thank you.
You're all sort of near this tower.
Okay, see you.
These things are roughly sort of 30 foot away from you, apart from the one that Reggie has pulled closer. Harmony, you would reckon that's about 15 foot away from your current position. One thing I will say is that because you're not technically surprised, you'd be able to tell that looking into these things eyes directly could cause bad things to happen. So you may on your go choose to avert your gaze if you wish no bad things to happen as a result of looking into their eyes.
I have ideas.
But if you do that, you will have disadvantage on attacks.
I will remove my
Melee
gaze.
attacks.
That's fine. Ask him to go and stand somewhere else.
Let's go over there, love.
Hey, guys, we are a little bit worn. Shall we run? Shall we fight? What are we doing?
You can speak for yourself, but I have a full slew of spell slots.
Harmony, your first initiative. What would you like to do?
Be grumpy, because I haven't had any sleep. I'll just grump as an action. Does this creature look, from my side eye that I'm not looking directly at it, look like they are about to maul us? Or maybe are they just also sleepy and want to be left alone?
They certainly look intent at coming towards you. You look at its little feet and its little sandals that are on its feet, and they are sort of gradually attempting to pace towards you. They don't really speak, they make more of a sort of noise. That's all you get.
I'm going to have to hold my turn because I'm lawful good. That's annoying.
Use your words. Use your words.
Harmony's not very good. Oh no, I have 20 charisma. Of course Harmony's good at words. I forgot I played someone with charisma this time. It never normally happens.
Excuse me. Hello. You things that can't talk. Are you friend or foe?
Pretty much. Harmony will pull out her sword and just pose looking defendy in a, if swords could speak, it would be saying, I will smack you with this if you come too close. Oh, I will, is what the sword is, non-verbally saying. And then I think as a cantrip, I would like to cast Friends.
Okay. Just read the words of Friends to me, if that's okay.
For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you. But currently, I don't know that they're hostile, which is what I'm trying to determine.
Maybe it does want to be friends.
And then when the spell, I should have read this more carefully. When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you use magic to influence its mood. Now, I'm not going to cast Friends, Liz. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use my charismatic words.
It is an absolute trap, that spell.
Well, you'd taken all the good cantrips between you by the time I picked my spells. I will stand there with my sword.
Good cantrips.
And look strong. And
Okay.
but kind, and just stand there and go, careful, hello.
Do you want to make an intimidation check, please? At disadvantage, just because. Careful, hello.
However,
careful, hello.
However, I have expertise in intimidation. One of them was a natural 20. What a waste. However, the other one is still a 27.
Yeah, this thing seems quite devoid of life and emotion, but certainly seems a bit unsure about its current choices. The rest of them, however, are very sure about their choices. Now, there is one that is quite close to you. That's the one that Reggie lifted out of the water. Now,
And drop back in.
I thought you didn't drop it back in, did you?
Lightning, if it was suspended over the water, it only moves 10 feet towards us.
Towards you.
It depends if it came onto the land or it was just pulled out of the water. We kind of saw it because it moved 10 feet and then it fell back.
I had it coming out of the water towards you. Sorry. So it seems to do something. The rest of them do as well on their turn. You all suffer 5 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
It just happens.
That's less than ideal.
The rest of them seem to have done this as well. You notice a slight glow. You're not really looking at their eyes, but a glow coming from their face. And this sort of, it ripples out. The damage that you take is necrotic. Yes, Chris.
Do we know not to look in their eyes? Like, is there a very obvious looking eyes bad? Because my intelligence is 7. I want to play fairly.
I mean, you can certainly roll to check that. That's fine. The specific wording of this creature doesn't specify that you have to make that check. You can choose to avert your gaze if you're not surprised. But if you want to RP that, that's cool by me. It's up to you.
I'll wait till my turn.
Okay.
Was that intimidation check an action or a free action?
It can be a free action.
Oh, you are a kind and lovely DM. In that case, I go, ooh, friendly, ouch. And I would like to hit the 2 nearest me with my sword.
Cool.
I'll start with 1 and I have 2 attacks.
Got you. Okay.
What do I add? I add many things. What is it? It's a +7. One of them is a 16 to hit. One of them is
16 hits.
18 to hit.
18 hits. So you would be able to get to certainly one of them. For you to get to another would be the whole of your movement to get to the shoreline.
I'll start with the first one and see if it takes more than 1 hit to dispose of them.
Okie dokie.
So it's 2d8 plus 5 per hit. Where are my d8s? There are my d8s. Oh, I should roll them separately to see if the first one kills them. Okay, the first one is 10 points of damage.
Okay, cool.
If it's still alive, I'll hit it a second time.
It is still alive.
And that is 15 points of damage.
Okay, cool. So the rest of you watch as Harmony tries to be nice to this thing, and then you just see she's done. She's over it. She runs towards it, the 10 foot that it takes, and slashes into it twice. It is still standing.
How many of them are there?
Were those rolls done at disadvantage, Harmony?
They were not. I am a
think.
nitwit. I am sorry. Should I take
5
the
in
first-
total.
5.
So I'll take the first 2 rolls I did for the first one that hit, and then
Yes.
I'll roll again at disadvantage.
Cool.
Okay, I think that's fine. That's an 18. No, a 17 is the lowest one.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll count that damage that happened.
Great.
Cool. So there's 5 of these in total. One of them you've just dealt some damage to. The others are near the shoreline, 30 foot away from everybody else, 20 foot away from Harmony.
Cool.
Okay.
And I don't think I have any sensible bonus actions. So I think that is my turn.
Okay. So we move over to these creatures. It is their go. They've already done their bonus action. We did it a little bit early. It's quite good there being 5 of them and 5 of you. So what they will do as an action, could you each make a Constitution saving throw, please?
I'd really rather
Who's
not.
within 10 feet of me?
All of
None of-
you.
All of us.
So you all have plus 5.
That's 18 plus 2, 20.
14.
11.
15.
Was that a natural
Plus.
1? I'm sorry, we need to mark this day. This day needs to be marked. Rebecca got a natural 1.
It has finally come!
Today!
Karmic justice against you, Harmony.
Those,
Plus 5,
really
20.
nice.
5.
those of you who got under a 13, which I believe was 2 of you, Hunk and Harmony.
Yeah, I got 11.
You take the full whack, which is 30 necrotic damage, as they kind of look across to you. This necrotic damage kind of seeps in from almost nowhere. It sort of mottles your skin and causes it to just melt somewhat. The rest of you take half of that damage.
So 15.
15 damage to those who succeeded, 30 to those who failed.
Ooh,
Cozy, that's fine.
you are nasty.
You're nasty.
Oh, thanks.
Let's see, the
Does
one...
anyone look seriously fucked? Just checking.
I've hit
Get in
points for days.
Now, Sam, I didn't realise you were on single-digit hit points last time because you weren't honest about it. Talk to your healer. How bad does the skeleton look?
Right now, the skeleton who doesn't look like a skeleton doesn't look too bad.
Okay.
This is the
Yes,
problem with the how
but he's
disguise.
on the way.
How fucked up they are.
You can't see how ill he looks, but if he was hit for 30 more damage, he'd be on single-digit hit points.
Thank you. There we go. That's all I need.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 66, he'd be under 10 if that happened.
Yes, thank you.
That is it for their go. We move over to Heimlich.
Anchor. Liz, you described them as humanoid,
Yes.
being quite bright. Do I feel like I could affect them with the charm person spell? Or do they feel too monstrous?
Yeah, they feel like earlier when you saw Harmony was trying to tap into their emotions, they have none. There's very little of human sense within them. So you get the impression that perhaps it wouldn't be the best choice.
Okay, it would be a
It's
charm monster.
dead,
I
Jim.
can't do it at that. And they may not be charmable anyway. Great. Are there 2 who are within 10 foot of each other? Or are they all quite spaced out?
There are 2 that are with 10 foot of each other. The ones that are crawling up from the shoreline, they're about 10 foot apart from each other, the 4 that are there.
Okay, so I'm going to drop a 2nd level shatter on them
And
to hit as many as I can within a 10 foot radius sphere. So I've got 20 foot.
cool. So if you drop that in the center, that should be 4. I believe you should be able to get all of them.
That bunched, I would love that. So
Yeah,
they
sure.
can make con saves of 17.
Con saves, okay. I'm going to just roll those. 1 second, everyone. Bear with caller. I have a 14. I have a 22. I have a 21. And I have 6.
Cool. So 2 fail, 2 pass. I'm going to do that through my violin. So I'm adding an extra d6, as I want to do as a spirit bard. And that is going to be a total of 18 damage for full fat, 9 for anyone who passed.
Nice. As you cast this, the ripple that Shatter causes over the water, it sounds like a mini tidal wave. But
Yeah, so he plays a really discordant chord on the violin, and it just makes a little sonic boom over there.
Nice.
Sonic boom.
Cool. They definitely took that damage. Is that your go, Heimlich? Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I'm going to go back up against this tower, so I can't be attacked from behind.
Oh, you move on up. Your back's against the tower as we move over to Taselli, followed by Swifty. Taselli, what are you doing? You have one of these creatures 10 foot away from you, the rest...
I will throw a bardic at Reggie, because I've got all of it back.
Cool.
Oh, thanks.
Allegro, Reggie, allegro. Fortissimo. Very
Bye.
Reggie, Heimlich is conducting at you right now. You determine how you feel about that.
Heimlich.
Or should I say Heimlich? But we'll move on from that. Taselli, what would you
Should I
like
say
to
Heimlink?
I don't know. There's too many. Okay. First of all, Mantle of Inspiration. So let's move people where they have to be. So Mantle of Inspiration on Reggie, Taselli, Harmony, and Hunk. Okay. And then you can use your reaction to shuffle in the map. Okay, so
Yeah,
that
you
is
can-
8 temporary hit points.
And
That
you can
was
move
my-
your movement without getting opportunity attacks.
Lovely.
So
Cool.
Taselli flutters his hair and says, like, okay, guys, we got this. And everybody moves if you want. And then my question is, the one that Harmony hit, does it look like about to die? From 0 to 10, how damage? Could I be able to say?
From 0 to 10, it's hard to say because there's not much of its body left. However, you'd say above 50%.
Good. So okay.
Oh boy.
Wow.
But oh my god! But this ability, can I make an Arcana check? This is so metagaming, so I'm not gonna do it. I think Taselli is afraid that this ability is coming back again, but we need to sort out this. So,
I mean, the ability that they looked at you and did some damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Taselli is gonna take his massive pole, opens the banner, and you can see these geometrical patterns on the banner, and it's so beautiful. And actually, the pattern starts like moving in a sort of hypnotizing way. And I present to you the rod of rulership. So every creature around, except my friends, have to make a wisdom saving throw 15.
Okay. I will roll those for all 5 of these creatures. I assume you are just doing this on the creatures and no one else.
If there is anybody else, yes, that can see me, but not my friends.
Okay. Well, number 1 got a 17.
Mhm.
Number 2 got a 5. Number 3 got a 15.
Mhm.
Number 4 got a 9. And number 5 got a 6.
So 3 of them are charmed by me. So you choose which one of them, and they recognize me as a leader.
Okay.
Now let's see how
Charmed.
that can play. Yes,
This
yes.
is a charm. Taselli, that takes no effect. They cannot be charmed.
No.
Undead.
I was so afraid of that, but that is what it is. So I'm gonna use my reaction to move up 30 feet.
Okay. Are you backing up or are you going towards them?
Up to the air.
Oh, you're flying. You're flying. It's fine.
And with my movement, another 5, just to be 35 feet high. And that's my turn.
Okay, Taselli. Thank you. The rest of you watchers. Taselli looks very majestic and very lordly as he wields his staff with apparent ease, but nothing happens with the creatures. He then flies into the air. We move over to Reggie.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
First one, how close are they to the edge, and what's the height differential between the water and the island?
It's a good step. It's just
a step.
Just a step, yeah.
And are any of them within 10 feet of the edge?
Yes, there's 4 within 10 foot of the edge. One of them is sort of 10 foot away from you.
How close are they to each other?
About 10 foot away from each other, roughly. They were able to be hit in a 10 foot radius circle. So.
Okay, Reggie will, and they're within 30 feet of me.
Yes.
Reggie will move up such that roughly as many of them can be placed in a 15-foot cube as possible.
Okay, cool. We'll say
geometric optimization algorithm.
We'll say 4 of them. It's fine. We'll be able to fit that in.
And Reggie is going to go and try and strike that nearest to him. But in doing so, accidentally strikes them quayside with Maurice, who's just been resummoned, letting out a cacophonous sound as he casts Thunderwave at 3rd level.
Ooh.
Okay.
Look at you showing off with your spell slot.
Might as well make the most of it. That's a Constitution save from all of them, please.
All of them. Okay. Again, bear with. I've got 7 from the one. Wait, from all 4 of them on the dock. You're not.
Yeah, all 4 of them near the water.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry.
So I've got a 7, a 15.
Yep.
I have a 12, and I also have a 3.
Okay, all of them will take
Nice.
4d8. I'm just going to roll it in here. That should have just... The number didn't come up. Okay, I'm rolling it manually. Oh, no. Dice. 8, 12, that's 20, and that's 26. All of them take 26.
Nice.
I think lightning damage. Thunder damage, sorry. And are knocked back 10 feet into the water.
Cool. All right. Do you want to describe what that looks like for me?
So Reggie, Maurice appears in Reggie's hands as he strides over and strikes against one of them. But as I said, the keys hit it rather than the weight of Maurice, which just lets out this thunderous boom as the 4 of them near to each other just are thrust back 4 feet and plummets back down into the water as bubbles begin to rise back to the surface.
Nice. They definitely take that. I'm glad it wasn't lightning damage because that would not have done anything, but the thunder damage definitely does some good work there. Spladoosh, 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 spladoosh. They all fall into the water. Anything else on your go, Reggie, that you would like to do?
That will be it. Thank you.
Okay. We move on over to Hunk.
So there's 1 left?
There's 1 left on land, although the others may come out shortly. But
Oh, I see. Okay. Has
And put
anyone
away from
said
me.
not to look into their faces, and did the damage obviously come from their faces, Liz?
You've noticed a red glow around their faces when the damage happens.
Okay.
I don't think anyone has specified not to look at their faces, though, so it's up to Hunk whether Hunk would or not. We can roll an intelligence if you would like.
Oh, God. I'm rolling an intelligence check, and it's the only fair way to do it. Oh, God. It's a 1.
Oh, no.
Not an actual 1. It's a 3, which becomes a 1. I look in their face, yeah.
You look right at them. Yes. When a creature that sees its eyes starts its turn within 30 foot of the thing, you have to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please, Hunk.
Am I close enough to Harmony to get the +5?
Yes, you are.
Oh, phew. 25.
That's good. Nothing happens, although you do see these eyes now kind of flash. You feel like death is coming towards you, but somehow you shrug it off.
Okay, don't look in their faces, people. That's not good. Liz, are they obviously undead?
Yeah. Given that they were living underwater, absolutely fine, and then rocked up out of it. Yeah, you'd say so.
Cool. Then I will turn undead.
Okay.
I will take my instrument and go away. Just play a couple of chords and try and get them off the vamoose.
Really happy ukulele chords.
Go away.
Stop. Leave.
Is that a con save or a whiz save?
Hang on.
I think it's whiz.
Where is it, precious? There it is. Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I've got a 15,
Nope.
a 16,
Nope.
a 4,
Nope.
a 19,
Yes.
and a 17.
It's on the money. So beat it. Yep. So 3 fail. What's their CR?
Their CR is 6.
Cool. They aren't destroyed. I should have destroyed the zombies in the first episode, I realised, but it's a shame. Never mind.
But the dream wouldn't have happened.
I know. Destroyed the dream. Not good for everyone. But yes, 3 of them have to dash away for ages. Minutes.
Is that on their turn or immediately?
On their turn.
Got you. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll see what happens with that when it comes round.
Harmony kills them all before then.
And as a bonus action, I will look around the group. Everybody okay?
Never better.
Tired!
I will throw a Bardic Inspiration to Harmony, which is, again, my Bardic Inspiration has a motive potential with it as well. So, again, it's one of those flashing rainbow notes now floating around you again. Go get him. You got this.
And with that enthusiastic yawn, Harmony, it's your go. What would you like to do?
Oh, good. I'd like to hit them with my sword, please, Liz.
Okay, so we've still got the one on land that is immediately before you. That did fail its save, so on its go it will begin to run away. But for now,
I was going to ask, is there a way to know without metagaming? Is there a look of immediate terror in their eyes that I'd recognise from travelling with Hunk, or is it very clearly? I have no idea which one you're about.
You have no idea. Its face doesn't move other than its sort of gaping mouth, but
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
And I'm not really looking at them, so that would be difficult. I will hit the chappie in front of me at disadvantage. Oh dear. Oh, I have inspiration, which I will use because that's only a 10. Inspiration was a D6.
6.
Is there any? What have we found out that their DC is? I know a 17 hits.
Not a clue.
Oh yeah, none of you hit them. Okay.
Oh.
I mean,
So that was a 6, so that is 16 to hit.
In hits, yeah.
Great.
Undead tend to
Oh,
have,
so that's one hit.
Low ACs and
And then second hit at disadvantage. That is much better. That's a 16 on the die at disadvantage, so that's a 23.
That hits.
Cool. First hit does 8 plus 5, 13 points of damage.
Okay.
Second hit does 9 plus 5, 14 points of damage, 27 total.
And it has to roll a con save as the motive potential that got used shatters.
Cool.
Okay. See? I've got an 18 on the con save.
Nothing happens. It's pretty.
Oh, okay. This creepy thing that's gorgeous for just a little moment. Harmony, is that your go?
Don't want to move. Don't have a bonus action. I will yawn again
Okay.
as a bonus action.
Okay. As you do that, top of the round, I realised last round I didn't quite do one of the things correctly, so I'm going to do that now. So, these things have all got this kind of shadowy aura going up. It goes in when you end your turn, which is why I've not mentioned it before. So, Harmony, you've just ended your turn. Now, you are technically, you're not within 30 feet of all of them, which is good. You're within 30 foot of one, so you take 5 necrotic damage straight away. Great. If they were all on land, you would have all taken that damage again. But
Okay.
that's 5 necrotic damage to you. Now it's the creature's turns. Now, the one that's closest to you turns tail, runs away, uses its action to dash, as do another 2 of them. However, 2 of them did pass the channel divinity and will use their action against, let's see, who's closest. It'll be Harmony. and probably Reggie, I think.
I'm at the water.
Yeah. So could you please make some Constitution saving throws for me?
But the rest
I'll
of
roll the
us.
damage again.
25.
4 + 2 is 6.
Oh, Sam.
Oh god.
You've got a +5, right? You're near me.
4 + 2 + 5 is 6 + 5, 11.
Those of you who
Plus
got under a 13,
Oh.
that would be 30 points of damage normally, so half of that for those of you who saved.
15 for me.
Hey,
fine.
Sam, healer question again. How bad is Reggie looking?
I would like some healing,
There
please.
we go.
That is their go. We move over to Heimlich. Heimlich, what would you like to do? We've got one who is on land. The others, you don't really know where they are at the moment.
Right, if I can't see them, there's not a lot I can do.
No, there isn't one on land. The one on land has hightailed out of there. He's spladooshed into the water. You can't see anything where you currently are. What would you like to do?
So I've got my back to the Dubry, which feels nice and safe. I am going to just pull out my my violin and pluck a note that's just really bright and cheery and fills the air and fills Reggie particular with a lovely healing warmth. I'm just going to throw that word at you with as it's also accompanied with a slight eldritch whisper of the spirit bard. Like,
Nice.
you're also a spirit bard, so you know how we roll.
No.
So that's 12 points of healing for you, Bab. That's my bonus action. What can I do from action?
I guess you do still see some bubbles underwater. Some of them are still kind of near the edge, but it's hard to say.
I could do a cantrip, can't I? Can I shoot a firebolt into the water and try and hit them?
Sure.
Magic fire?
I'd say disadvantage because you don't know where specifically they are, and also fire water.
I'm just going to kind of like shoot it in the general direction because they want to look in their eyes anyway. So I'm happy to disadvantage it.
Sure.
So it's this is the sorcerer side. This is the shadow magic. So he holds up his hand. It gets wreathed in black fire, which just feels strange. And in the Shadowfell, you probably can't see anyway. And just flicks it forward. Let's see how we do. Not bad, actually. Not lose the natural 20, but 23 at disadvantage.
Oh, that hits. That hits.
And that's 2d10 plus also a d6. Doing that with the bow of the Miss Special Fiddle. For 22 points of fire damage.
Amazing. Okay, let's see. Floating near the top of the water is one of them. It appears to have died. It's sizzling and waterlogged at the same time. It's really pretty.
I love the vision.
Is it full of harmony-shaped sword holes?
Yeah, you can see a couple of slashes on it there.
It's just a lovely visual of Habit not even looking, just shooting fire at the water, and suddenly just his body just burns.
You listen to the jar on that one, Harmony.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it was a good thing.
Heimlich, if that ends your go,
Yeah.
there's 2 ripples of necrotic energy coming your way. You take 10 points of damage. Because there are 2 still within 30 foot of you. As a bonus, they've activated an aura as a part of their bonus action, and at the end of a creature's turn, they deal 5 damage to you.
So the tower is less than 30 foot away from the water's edge. It's quite a small island.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are sort of there's 2 pairs of little hands kind of pulling themselves back out of the water because they were the ones that weren't turned.
Okay, I'm gonna start moving away from these bitches next turn.
Okay.
Great.
You can. Okay. If that's your go to Sally, we'll move over to you in the air. What would you like to do?
So, is there a way to... So I want to use Thorn Whip to pull one of them into a position where both Harmony and Swifty have it flanked. Is that possible?
Sure. We can say. Well, what's your reach on Thorn Whip? Because you're 30 foot away from the edge and 30 foot in the air.
Yeah, I will have to go down. So it's 30 feet. So probably have to go down like 20 feet or something to be in the right position to pull it in the right direction.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. Sure.
So Teseli goes down, takes his tweezers, and pointed to one of them, casts Thorn Whip. So the illusion of poison ivy will try to hit it.
Okay, so that's a disadvantage because you're averting your gaze, unless you're not.
I think I'm not.
Okay.
So that's 22 to hit.
22 will hit. Now, because you're not averting your gaze, you started your turn within 30 foot of one of the creatures. Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
I started my turn 30 feet up.
Nice. Okay. Ignore what I said then. That's amazing. Cool. All right. So 22 hits.
So, and then it takes 8 points of, I don't know what damage. Piercing damage. And it's pulled out of, from the cliff. And I guess it falls next to Harmony.
So it's going to fall some foot, right? It's going to fall about 20 foot?
10. It's just...
10. Okay.
Yes,
Never mind.
10. Yeah, no fall damage for this one.
Damn it. Okay. That would have been fun, but cool.
And then Teseli whistles. So Swifty knows what to do. And then Teseli will fly away as much as possible. But I guess my next turn will start in the range of the creature.
Got you.
Next is Swifties, and he's gonna move to this creature. So Harmony and Swifty.
Could Swifty please make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Yes, he's good. I think so. Well, yes, +4. Ouch. 12.
12 is not what you needed. However, you didn't roll 5 less than what it needed to be, so that's good. Swifty does take 19 points of psychic damage, if that's possible.
Can Swifty take psychic damage?
No.
Oh.
So it's immune to... no, it's just immune to poison.
Shame.
Psychic damage, yes. All those nuts and bolts are very psychically upset.
Egg. Just
Scrambling.
No! Leaps out.
Swifty's gonna attack this thing, so...
It's fine, you don't have to disadvantage Swifty because Swifty's looking at the creature with its non-existent eyes, I guess.
And he's flanking. So would that be...
with advantage, great, cool.
So that would be 19 to hit.
That hits.
For 4 points of damage.
Okay. Swifty attacks. How does Swifty attack? Is it like running into the creature? Is it hitting it with a weapon?
If this is not in the unicorn form, it's just with one of the two...
Little leggies. Yeah.
I had this vision of just rocking over and just rolling into it slightly.
Let's do a headbutt better.
Okay, you headbutt this thing in. You eggbutt this thing in a place which I will leave to your imagination. Is that Swifty's go?
Yes.
It's 3 foot, so I guess. Okay, thank you, Teseli. Reggie, what are you doing?
Question: can these creatures be willing or unwilling? Are they capable of sentience in that form?
Very difficult question to answer.
Yeah, they don't seem to have any semblance of life. Just before I nip to you, Reggie, Teseli, you take 10 points of necrotic damage at the end of your turn.
So, would you say that they can be unwilling?
In what sense?
If someone were to grab them, and could they be unwilling?
They could certainly resist, yes.
Okay, we're not going down that route.
Okay.
I'd like to go over to the two which are holding onto the edge. Reggie dashes over, Maurice in hand once again, and Maurice is encloaked in green flame. So I'm casting Green Flame Blade and will attack with Maurice and won't worry about the disadvantage.
It is just one that's clinging to the edge because the other was lifted out earlier with Thorn Whip. So
is that one within 10 feet?
Yes, within 10. Yes, they would be.
Is it within 5 feet of it?
No.
Okay, we're doing this anyway. So I won't be worrying about disadvantage there. That is a natural 20.
Oh my gosh, yes, with the Kita, amazing.
How are you dealing with crits? Is it just doubling the dice, or is
Whatever
it
you would
max
like.
damage plus dice?
Double
D&D
dice,
Beyond thing.
yeah.
So that one is a
If we instigate max damage plus dice, then Harmony's going to be insane.
that's 14. Plus,
Terrifying.
that's 17 damage, and because of sorting out things, we'll attack again, and that is another natural 20.
No!
Are you seeing this in the D&D?
Rebecca, you can leave. I'm joking, don't leave.
Rebecca.
No.
Rebecca got the nat 1.
Rebecca looks sad.
No.
That's only 16
No.
damage. So that
Literally
was
break my
14
heart,
and
stop
16,
it.
30 damage.
30 damage. Yes.
Sorry, 30 plus 3, 33.
Gosh,
And what did you do? How did you steal my luck and give me a nat 1?
Yeah,
Is it
that's
fair to
I
say
traded
Rebecca-
my soul.
Got it.
It's fair to say that Rebecca's ability is catching.
yes. Oh god,
Actually,
don't like it. There must be
I
special.
have resistance to disease, so no. That's 33 damage.
So the one that was clutching the edge, the little fingers just kind
Banging
of
the fingers.
they just kind of spladoosh down into the water in a sort of "don't leave me, Jack," and then you let go of them anyway. That kind of vibe. At the end of your go, Reggie, you take 5 points of necrotic damage from the one that is still standing between Swifty and Harmony.
That's your lot. Thank you.
Okay, Hunk, over to you.
Everyone's taken some damage. I'm just going to do one of these. I will look around, see everyone's taken the hits,
Yeah.
and I'm going to cast Mass Healing Word on everybody.
Aw, nice.
So I'll just sort of, again, couple of chords, and you will all be filled by sense of group and unity, and we're all in this together for 12 points of healing to everyone.
Aw, that's nice. I thought you were going to say a sense of groove. I was like, nice.
No. This is
Realised we were on a corporate team building.
it is team. The feeling is like team.
Is that to everyone, including Swifty?
Yes, absolutely everyone. Absolutely everyone. Everyone within 60 feet
crawls its way back into his head. Just screws up quickly.
Everyone within 60 feet of me, anyone of my choice within 60 feet, yeah.
Wow. How hurt was Swifty?
It was one left.
What happened if Swifty died?
You can repair him, right?
It takes an hour or something.
Yeah.
Sally flies away, and I bring my backup character.
Hunk, at the end of your go, you take 5 points of necrotic damage from the remaining
hang
one
on.
on land.
Sorry, I also get the healing. I forgot. I
Yeah.
get myself in that too.
Oh.
I'll take another 5.
All in this together. Yeah.
And Harmony, it's over to you.
There's one in front of me.
There is one in front of you. You are flanking with a very destroyed-looking Swifty. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna hit it with my sword.
Hey, I fixed Swifty. Swifty's fine now.
I don't get any bonus from flanking. That's other.
It's advantage, but it is moot because
I didn't realise that
You're
was
averting your
a
gaze.
specific roguey thing. Great, I will do some 2 flat rolls then.
Arguably anyone can flank. It's normally down to DM discretion.
Ha! Sam, take that.
my
It's a
ears.
natural one.
It's the other one.
Guess who's back in the house?
Nat 20 for 27.
These roll
and
well.
then an 18 for 25.
Yes.
Ha!
Yes, and ow.
Go, friends.
Team.
So that is 5d8. That's a d10. That's why I'm rolling so well. No. That is an 8, and a 3 is 11, and a 7 is 18, and a 1 is 19, and a 6 is 25, 30, 35 points of damage.
That one is no more.
Good.
You rend it to pieces with your blade. As it kind of falls to the floor, you see the robes kind of in slashes and tatters fall as well. And I think there we will end combat.
Just to check something, Ali, what is Swifty technically? What type of creature?
It's a creature. It's a construct. Yes.
I can't heal constructs.
No. I was going to just question that.
It's a medium construct with a neutral alignment, but I guess Swift is chaotic. But
I can't heal constructs, so sorry, I can't heal Swifty.
Does mending not work on
Swifty a
constructs?
creature?
yes, it does.
No. It says specifically here, quite a few healing spells say does not affect undead or constructs.
No, but it does Swifty still count as a creature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can heal Swifty if Swifty's looking.
It's fine. So I can cast mending on it and repair it.
I can do the same if you need.
Yeah.
As you're doing this, Heimlich, you would notice about 30 additional bubbles coming closer to you from the water's edge. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm sure your egg is very important, but more bubbles. Go.
50 kind of like limps along.
Over to the bridge that way. I will provide us with some cover. Hopefully, when I see everyone start to move, I will cast a spell.
Jess, should I carry Swifty if it's broken?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It can work perfectly. Yeah.
Dispel what, Heimlich? Sorry?
If I see once I see everyone start to move towards the next bridge, I'm going to cast a spell.
Oh, I thought you said dispel. I was like,
I dispel reality.
I dispel you.
I dispel Reggie's hand. You look great, Reggie. So thin.
New dad. Don't worry about it. Can I? Yes. Can I cast darkness on the corpse and push it into the water in the direction of the bubbles?
I believe darkness goes on a point. The corpse would just move on, but the darkness would stay where it is. So you could, but the darkness would stay where it is.
You can
If
cast
it's
it
an
on
object you're holding or one that isn't being worn or carried, it emanates from the object and moves with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
In that case, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why the darkness pebble works. Yeah.
Yeah, so darkness corpse and just pushing it into the water.
Sure. This void of blackness falls into the water.
Eerily bobbing away.
You can't see that because it's dark.
We can see the dark sphere just.
Yes, you can.
Probably should have thought about the fact they don't have eyes.
Oh, they got eyes. I saw those eyes. Those are not good eyes.
Yeah.
Seeing that I will cover any parts that feel like they're not covered by the darkness, I'm going to pull out the nice lacquered red cittern that I carry, the McFormad cittern, and cast Fog Cloud at the other side of the island.
Brilliant.
So we've now got cover. Let's run!
And you begin to run towards what looks to be a very, very long old bridge.
Are we dashing or are we running?
Dashing through the... You can do whatever you like.
I'm checking what everyone's doing. Like, are we doing like a proper sprint, or are we just moving at pace?
I'll sprint. Sprinting's good.
Sprinting from
Then I'm sprinting
the
as well.
bubbles.
And then
They would making you feel dead from their eyes.
I bet it's the toad.
Then I will.
I bet it's the toad.
Didn't the
You
toad
think-
go on the other side of the island? Have to go all the way around to come out here? I'm not that smart.
My experience, toads can swim.
It's probably the toad. Yeah, I won't cast a spell. I'll just run. I'll dash.
You begin to run. Swifty, are you carrying Swifty? Because he might struggle walking at this point.
I'll carry if it's offered.
All of his joints are kind of encrusted in this dark necrotic goop.
I will ask Punk for help.
I will also help. Harmony has strong.
Thank you very much, guys.
Tasseli is not strong. Is that correct? Cool. If Hunk and Harmony do it between them and just gently nudge Tasseli aside.
Tasseli tries to lift it, but with its -1, obviously cannot. So I guess Harmony and Hunk see that and go and help.
I'm not that strong. I'm just big, so I'll be sort of like shouldering it.
Nice. And you begin to make your way to the bridge. And I think that's where we're going to take a break, everyone. Come back shortly and we'll find out what happens once these cool people get over the bridge, if they do. We'll see what happens. See you in 5-10 minutes. back.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, we are absolutely back. So last half, if you've not seen it, you should have seen it. But if you haven't seen it, these lovely folks fought off what appeared to be Bodaks, and there are a lot of them, and they're currently running towards a bridge which leads to the city. You all running swiftly in hand between Harmony and Hunk. You notice that the creatures behind you are gradually getting to the shore, about 120 foot away from you at this moment in time. You get to this ancient and crumbling bridge that looks in serious disrepair. As you're running, you do happen to notice that there are gargoyles either side, but they sort of occasionally are there. They're not flanking either side. It looks like some are missing. The ones that are there, you see that there are black, oily smears, like from their eyes, that kind of drip down from their unblinking eyes. How are you proceeding? Who's first? Who's last? What's going on? I know that Swifty's been carried, but who's first?
Technically, if we're carrying Swifty, then we are moving at pace, but we can't run.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're 300 meters behind us?
And also, given Liz did not make us make a strength check to carry Swifty, Harmony might see that Hunk is fine, and then go to take point, because you are all so squishy and we're about to charge into the unknown. So Harmony might go lead the way because she's just scared for all of you juggle fucks.
What did you call us?
Juggle
fucks.
Yeah,
Hunk, how do you position Swifty if you're carrying Swifty alone? Is it like piggyback?
You know how Obelix carries Menhirs in Asterix and Obelix? It's like that.
Yes. Nice. So yeah, this bridge is about 300 to 450 foot. It's a long run.
Just on the running order, I'm going to cast Detect Magic, and because I've currently got to move 40 feet because of my little spirit tail I'm still carrying around, I'm going to take a slight point ahead of Harmony, playing a bit of rogue. In this scene, Heimlich will be playing the character of the rogue, just going ahead, checking for magical voodoo shit. I've got my passive perception and passive investigation of both, like just checking, are we gonna fall, what's going on, and just
got you.
Harmony will let you squeeze ahead of her, but just go, you're very squishy, just okay.
The slightest sight of problem, Harmony, I will hide behind you.
You're better.
I will aside to Sele, who I presume I'm running near because I'm holding Swifty. Sele's probably like fussing. I'll probably...
You're fine. Oh, just breathe. Don't you can't breathe.
I will just whisper to Sele, man, he's fast for an old guy. That's impressive.
So sorry, John.
Those 3 decades, really. Just put the wind in your sails.
So far, we have naked statues throughout Waterdeep and Heimlich having aged 30 years overnight just because I don't understand things.
You're welcome.
I mean, all that necrotic damage, he's now looking worse than he was.
No.
Is that possible?
There's a 90-year-old man skittering his way up the bridge.
Let me get ahead of the rest of you. Oh, heavens.
Right, isn't he?
Oh, my heart. Heimlich, you, with your detect on, you reach within 30 foot of the door at the very end of this long bridge. There is a huge sort of archway. Either side of the archway, there are tall towers. But the doorway does seem to have a slight magical ripple to it. I don't really know what of specifically, but it's confirmed to you as you maybe get a little closer. As you get a little closer ahead of everybody else, you see a pair of contorted faces molding into the brick of this archway. So the archway is like it's filled in with concrete almost, this door. But a central seam goes down the middle, and 2 contorted faces mold either side of it. One has blue eyes, one has green eyes. You notice some stone limbs extending out from this door, and there's quite a few. There's more limbs than should be people. There's even a little foot.
Random foot. This is random foot.
Yes, just the one.
Is it waving?
Roll a perception check, Heimlich. Let's see if it's waving.
That's a 28.
Oh yeah, the foot is waving. All 8 toes of it are waving at you.
Oh,
That's not the right number of toes.
It depends on your species.
You see these faces that have contorted out of the door, and they seem to be talking to each other.
Is the door perceptibly closed?
It is.
I'm gonna use my magic item that I've been lugging around all this time. I'm gonna pull out from my jacket a hollow metal tube measuring about 1 foot long, weighing 1 pound. For those interested,
I am.
Not a massive rod.
it's gonna give a lovely chime.
Lovely.
And it's the chime of opening. So if the door can open, it will open.
Okay. Okay. Do you need to make any check for your chime?
So the chime issues a clear tone, and one lock or latch on the object opens. So it might have multiple locks, unless the sound can't reach the object. If no locks or latches remain, the object itself opens.
Got you. So, you wouldn't be able to see this, but for the purpose of this, I'll let you know. On the inside, there are a pair of entwined arms, and one of them, of many, just kind of unfurl from each other. But the door remains closed.
I'll hit the chime again.
Again,
Bing, 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 bing.
Welcome to the next hour and 15 minutes.
Slightly lower note, trying to find the right vibration.
And as you're doing that, one of the faces, the one with the blue eyes, kind of looks at you. All right, darling, what are you doing with that there rod?
Hello, friend. We are just running away from some scary, fishy zombie things, and we'd like to come through this door, please.
Oh, yeah, I can see you've awoken the cultists of Orcus. Oh, yeah, there they are.
The cultists of...
It'll take them ages to calm down after getting out of the pond.
what is it with Orcus?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Hangs around like a bad smell.
around. So you seem very civilized and friendly person, and I'm presuming at this point the others are catching up?
Yeah, the others are catching up with you right
If
now.
we're
And
slowing, I will be casting Mending on Swifty.
got you. Just as a point, the things are still following you. So it's a bit of a ticking time bomb on this. But the one with the blue eyes now sort of looks at all of you. Go, oh, fancy colours, dressed up for the Costa del Sol. Are we? Oh, not seen you before, love. Who are you then?
Oh, we
Waking
are...
up the cultists of Orcus.
No. We are a group of musicians who have come to the city to. We were see what was an excellent place to come and play some music. So we are here. We would very much like to escape these cultists of Orcus. They do not seem very savoury, and wondered if you could let us inside.
Oh, so you're bards then, is it? Oh.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, sing us a song.
I don't know if we have time. Maybe from the other side of the door, as we aforementioned, the cultists of Orcus right behind us. They do not.
No, that'll be fine. You sing me a song or a little tune or something. Simon will love it, won't you, Simon? Simon nods. Simon's the one with the green eyes.
Heimlich. Why not do something really quick and really simple, like you are my gargoyle, my favorite gargoyle. You make me happy when cultists are really close behind.
You'll never know, dear.
They start to join in. Can we have a group performance check, please, from everyone? I'm assuming we're all joining
I'm
in.
casting Mending. Presumably that would...
You can hum.
I can hum along. I mean, I will lean across to Tesselli if Tesselli's also, again, fussing around, and go, two things. One, doesn't Hamlet making music cause problems? And two, aren't we here to stop the big column of smoke in Waterdeep? Why are we lying?
We are in enough problems. Probably fire will put off this other fire. So it's fine. He can handle this. And I will also follow whatever Heimlich is doing.
Liz, how far away are the cultists, and how wide is the bridge?
The bridge itself is 15 foot. The cultists are now about 90 foot away from you.
That's a shame. Major image, please. I'd like to make it look like the bridge is empty.
Okay.
Except with a sign that says, sorry, cultists of Orcus. Orcus is that way.
Amazing. Okay.
Pointing off to the right, like off the bridge.
I don't have that many dice, but I'm going to
Please
roll
just have a bridge out. That's all you need.
And upstairs.
So I rolled 2 for half and half, right? So half of them got a natural 20, the other half got a 3. So on the intelligence check, it's -1, I believe, so it's still 19. Does that beat your...
Well, that will... My spell save DC is 16.
So that beats it.
The image, nonetheless, is just shortcut to Orcus with an arrow and a little bit of bridge, because it can only be 20 feet wide, so 5 foot of bridge.
Nice. So you watch half of them kind of begin to kind of climb over the edge of the bridge and start to plummet down. The others are still following them. Yes.
Is the bridge rope bridge?
It's stone. It's ancient stone.
I wish it was.
Then, yeah.
That was a 15 for the performance.
Yes, can I get a group performance check from those who are singing along?
26.
Roll one as well, sure.
23.
A natural 1 for 10.
Oh, I'm like...
16.
Trying to like work with Harmony's beautiful, optimistic. it's not my vibes.
You have to make it discordant.
There's an edge of panic to Harmony's singing, so it's hard to mesh with. When she's not used to taking the lead, she doesn't like it.
As a group, you all pass, despite Heimlich's kind of strained vocals that clash with the rest of you. And the door's like, "Oh, I suppose it'll do. Go on, then, Simon. You open the door." And it does begin to open, and the one with the green eyes says to you, "Welcome to this city of midnight gloom wrought, so it said. Beyond this very polite and courteous gate," and kind of with the arms and limbs, it indicates to itself and hits itself in the face as it does, "you will find yourselves within the temple district of the city. Therein you can proclamate your vestidigitation and such like to the Raven Queen," and so on and so forth. And the door kind of swings open, and you see the hands that were interlocked on the inside kind of unmesh. There are about 30 left, Heimlich, just so you know, down this massive long door. You seem to get about 15 with all your chiming, but the rest were still there. So yeah, the door opens. There are still some Bodak, the ex-cultists of Orcus, following you, but they are about 60 foot away at this point. Do you go through the door?
Is the foot still there? I want to put a stiletto on it before I go through the door.
Yes, it is.
We have a special 8-toed stiletto.
The shoe fits.
One of the toes just sort of curls around the end of it just to keep it on. But yeah.
When you said small foot, I was imagining something adorable like a tiny little happy baby foot, and then you made it so bad.
So it's an
Welcome to my brain.
8-toed baby foot?
It's upsetting in my head right now.
I'll leave that to your
Baby shoe.
imagination.
Yeah, go inside, obviously.
So yeah, you go inside. The door does eventually sort of close shut with its lovely little shoe on its lovely little foot. That rhymed. And you do see the Bodak kind of stumble to a stop about 40 foot away as the door is shut. And the door seems to be berating the Bodak. But for you lot, before you see a busy, cramped section of the city. You've emerged in like a gathering square of sorts, and it's bordered by rows and rows and rows of houses. But these houses are not nice. They're kind of dank, tired-looking Tudor-style buildings. So you see sort of various streets, and there's buildings sort of looking at each other, so to speak, but near the tops they kind of lean towards each other. If you've ever been to the Shambles in York, it's like that. On the other side of this sort of busy square, through one of the alleys, aptly named Shambling Alley, you see the beginnings of the temple to the Raven Queen. You see the foundations of it. Calling it a temple is an understatement. It is so big. I'm sorry, Harmony, but it is bigger than the Temple of Mystra, than the Cathedral of Mystra.
Sizes and everything.
And more naked.
And more naked, yes, it stretches.
That is everything.
It stretches and pisses the midnight sky with its 3 spires.
Pisses them. So I'm sorry.
Pisses the sky.
It's one kind of gargoyle.
But you see that it is held aloft by about 6 beautifully crafted and naked sculptures. For now, however, the square that you're in, because that's quite a way away from you, it's cobbled. There's a street sign. It is called Penance Square. That's penance, not anything else, Sam, that you may have been thinking of.
I heard nothing.
It seems very crowded, not with stalls, but with people. There are 6 specific people who are shouting. They're on plinths, high up from the ground, lecterns, if you will, and they're in hooded robes. 5 of the 6 are in black robes, and 1 of the 6 is in red robes. And they seem to be competing with each other about shouting the loudest about their spiritual messages. You notice citizens and onlookers kind of flitting between all of them like birds or like fish. Some of the citizens you do notice at this point are quite hard to see. They seem so pale, so grey that they almost blend in with the surroundings, but they sort of hang near the edges. Their eyes kind of lowered to the floor, their facial expressions non-existent, they're kind of expressionless. Others seem in complete contrast. So there's a pair of citizens who are shouting along with some of the, I'm going to call them proclaiming people, the proclaimers we'll call them. They're copying what they're saying, but they're doing it louder.
And in a Scottish accent.
Yes, and they're talking about walking 100 miles. It's all good.
100? Interesting.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
What does mending do to thingy? To
It gives 2d6s in healing.
Should I roll for that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
7.
Thank you.
Better than 1.
I cast Detect Magic before, and can I just glance at the ring on Sally's hand?
Oh, you can. You do, and there is no magic aura coming from it.
Scheiße.
Give the 5 gold back. Come on. Come on.
I mean, the bet was whether it causes problems. But yeah, we'll slip harming the 5 golden egg. It was just noisy. It was not a curse.
Yeah, but it's the spirit of the thing. You also, Heimlich, like, buy yourself a new jacket without the holes. Just, you deserve it.
Oh, thank you.
How long's it been since we tried to do a sleep?
Like 5 minutes.
How long, sorry?
Oh, I guess you took about an hour or 2 hours to do your short rest, right?
Yeah, but after that, like how long since we did the fighting and the walking and the running and the talking?
Not very long. It was about 18 seconds worth of fight, but the walking would be about an hour.
Okay. Reggie is looking distinctly unwell at this point. And hasn't particularly noticed this.
How unwell?
Like he hasn't eaten for a few months.
Reggie, is everything all right with you?
Fine. Any particular reason?
You're looking even more threadbare than usual.
Do you go in a little touch again?
So I adjusts his hat and begins to. His complexion reappears.
Like from the scalp down. Nice.
Actually, on that note, and just adjusts the hat slightly, a fraction of an inch, and then his complexion fades to a slight grey, not too dissimilar from those around the square.
Nice. And as that happens, the figure in red, the robed figure on the plinth, you see he's standing on a load of books, holy books by all accounts. He points towards Reggie and shouts, "Do you not see? The end of days is nigh, for the cadence has brought about the beginnings of the final cataclysm.
I'm sorry,
Rejoice!"
the cadence.
The cadence.
Amazing.
"Rejoice, friends, for this day is marked." He's like pointing emphatically at Reggie at this point. He picks up one of the books that's kind of scattered around the floor that he's standing on, tears the pages out of it frantically, and says, "Worship not the false idol. Put your faith in the destruction of the cadence."
Have you ever heard about my Lord and Savior, Funk?
This guy, are you talking to the guy in red? Yeah, his
recent hand.
He has all of these bits of paper in his hand that look to be like holy scriptures of the Raven Queen, and he just throws them at your face. "I have not heard of this funk, and I do not wish to hear of it."
It's not a matter of hearing, it's a matter of feeling it. And we'll begin to play the first few moments of I'm trying to think of something adequately funky. Dean Town by Wolfpack.
Okay, performance check, please.
That is a 12 plus 8, 20.
Nice. So you begin this funky rhythm, and the guy just shouts his usual blurb along to the rhythm that you're playing. In fact, he begins singing along, but in a shouty way. I guess, are you all watching this?
Yeah.
Or has Reggie just sort of gone off?
Oh no, I'm watching.
You see that on his red robes, he has like a purple patch sewn on, and there's an emblem on it that you won't have seen. It looks like it's been stitched hastily into his robe, and it depicts a golden angular contraption made up of like the outlines of triangles and squares all crunched together on a purple background, and it really clashes badly with his robe. At this point, you do notice some people moving in the crowds that sort of line this square. These people are wearing black armor, and they all have ravens on their shoulders, and you notice as well that ravens have gathered on the rooftops, and they seem to be making a beeline for this scene that's occurring here.
Gonna message to Reggie, like, the local guards seem to be expressing an interest. Maybe we should slip away. Maybe now is not the time for funk.
Wow.
I don't have a messaging. Just under my
You can
voice.
reply. You can always reply.
It's always the time for fun, Hamley. Always. But Reggie's noticed these people at this point, yeah?
Yeah, you would have done.
And Reggie will tip his hat slightly further as his outfit rapidly morphs into this black armor.
Okay.
Should I do talking just to see what the lay of the land is?
Go for it. Harmony will if you don't want to, but I'm very happy. She'll happily wait for Hunk to take the lead before she steps in.
I've got a persuasion. I have a very high persuasion roll, my friends. I don't use it very often, but
Okay.
Yeah, I dumped mine in intimidation because
Yeah.
paladins.
I'll walk up. Basically, I'm already next to Reggie. I've not really, but I'll sort of stand slightly in front of Reggie as opposed to with these guards coming in and go, hello.
Good day to you, sir. Or was that not
Reggie,
me?
Reggie, shush. Reggie, come on now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I got ahead of myself there.
It's okay, bud. That was a really, really interesting. Hi, hello.
Are you saying hello to the red guy?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying hello to me.
Not to the red guy or to Reggie, but to these approaching guards. Like I'll sort of call out to them with a kind of, "Can we help you? We just arrived."
As you step out in front of these people, Hunk, a swarm of ravens kind of dash past you. Reggie, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
But you would like to try. That is a 13 plus 6.
Yeah, you're fine. You kind of
19.
you duck. Maybe your hat does a little spin, the cartoon spin in the air as you duck, and it lands on your head.
See, you can't see the hat.
But it happens.
But it happens.
You know it happens. These ravens swarm at the guy in red and kind of, I'm not going to say he's knocked off his podium. They kind of carry him off his podium and gently make him prone on the floor as about 8 of these, I'm going to call them the Raven Guard, move in on him who has fallen. One of them stands near you, Hunk, and says, "We suggest you do not get in the way of the Raven Queen. Her work is important."
We had no intention of getting in the way of anybody's work. As I say, we just arrived. Just seemed to be approaching us with some kind of intent. So I wanted to just say hi and see if we can make it all copacetic.
Don't you worry, sir. I've already had a chat with him. We've said he needs to stop getting the locals to play so much funk.
Quietly facepalm.
This guy is going to attempt to dispel magic, Reggie.
I really hope he doesn't.
He's going to do it. It's 3rd level at basic level.
Yep. I'm just going to say yep.
Yep. Obviously, the disguise drops, but I can allow you a sleight of hand check if there's something that you would like to do quickly.
Then just cast it again.
Yeah, you could do that, definitely.
No.
Okay. Would you cast it again, though?
I think at this point it's not worth getting on their bad side.
Okay. So what do we see when Dispel Magic is cast?
In front of this guard beside Hunk is a 7'2" skeletal figure with hollow, dark eyes, bleach white bone, but nonetheless dressed very well in the same fetching hat Reggie has been wearing this entire time.
So the Raven Guard does not bat an eyelid. He kind of just nods in a kind of curt, yeah, knew it way. But the guy on the floor in red is like, the end is nigh, pointing at you again.
Can I roll?
Evidence has caused this
Can
destruction.
I roll a keep a straight face check of just like this is all fine and normal?
Performance check, yeah, sure, performance check.
I would say, sir, to you on the floor, perhaps now would be the right time to keep your mouth shut.
Ooh. Ooh, do you want to roll an intimidation? Sorry, Chris, I didn't quite catch your roll.
19.
19, yeah, you're good.
This is normal and fine.
That is a 8 plus 14, 22.
Plus 14.
Sorry, 14 plus 8.
I was going to say, Jesus.
It's only persuasion that I've
Yeah, you strike the fear of, I guess, the cadence in this guy's eyes. He looks terrified and kind of moves on the floor away from you, at which point the Raven Guard who moved towards him pick him up and begin to drag him away to where you saw the beginnings of the temple to the Raven Queen.
Is the Raven Guard who I'm talking to still there?
He is sort of finishing your conversation, having seen your face not move at all like his. He is still there if you wish to talk to him.
We're new in town. Do you got any recommendations for like where we can go to have somewhere to rest our bones? Like we've had quite the journey.
One can never find rest in the Shadowfell, but perhaps one can find peace at the temple of the Raven Queen.
Okay. Sorry, we came in from the material plane. There's some weird stuff happening where we're from that's kind of Shadowfell-y. You know anything about that? I'll push a persuasion check if that's okay.
Persuasion check, please.
32. 19 plus 13.
So as you're talking to him, you see his armor is made of lots of. He's basically goth as fuck. So he's got this gothy armor on. Yep. It's made of feathers that are entwined. And as you're talking to him and doing this check, 2 ravens land on his shoulders, and he raises his eyebrows at you as this very persuasive question has come to light. The cadence that is spoken of causes much destruction and much change.
And you're trying to make this cadence happen or stop this cadence from happening?
I suggest we speak elsewhere. And he begins to walk towards the Raven Queen Temple.
Oh.
Harmony just yells from behind, "Does that elsewhere have a bed?"
It's good. I don't think we're going to be able to sleep here, Harmony, but we got an invitation. We should probably take it.
I will start causing much destruction if I don't sleep soon. Yes, of course.
If you want, Harmony, I can carry you and you can try and chill out or something.
Again, I'm not. You're very sweet, Hunk. I'm not hurt. I just am tired.
Okay, well, we'll find something. There's got to be something here. If they all can't sleep, then they'd all be very dead very quickly. So there's got to be something we can do. Anyway.
Nice work, Hunt. That was good. I forgot how charming you are. It was great.
All you've got to do is do exactly.
Saving my ass.
It's all right. All you got to do is just have no malice in your heart at any time, and people see that. You're all right, Reggie. You're all right. And I'll give him a pat on the shoulder, and there's not even. I'm doing my very best with to hope the 19 still carries to not change behavior towards Reggie in any way. Because of anything that's changed with him.
Thank you, Hunk. Perhaps I should have been slightly more honest with you before, but, we're here now.
You do you, man. You do you. I like this look.
Thank you. I've always been quite keen on yours.
Was that a threat? Sorry, just the way you said it. I was like,
I'm not going to skin him and wear him.
Skin them and wear them.
Sorry.
I mean, was it flirty? Was it threatening? Was it just friendly? I don't know.
Party of
Inside
bars.
check.
I'm good. I don't want to inside check that.
Just a question, John, to Sam. The new way that Reggie is speaking, is that more familiar of the way he spoke when we knew him as a student, or was the way he spoke when he had his disguise up more familiar?
It is not familiar to you how he is now speaking.
Okay.
The prior would be more similar, but slightly more campy than you would have remembered, although it was a long while ago.
Yeah.
So the Raven Guard moves through the crowds towards the temple. It's about 60 foot away from you at this point. Do you follow?
Yeah. I'll make sure everyone else is following first, but yeah.
Got you. Just to point out another thing about Reggie, the keytar's very vocal at the moment in terms of volume. It is humming extremely loudly.
You don't need to worry, Maurice. We will we'll work out what's wrong with you soon, don't you? Don't fret. If you'll pardon the pun.
Hey, Reggie, Mendon didn't work on Maurice, but maybe Healan would?
That is a spectacular idea, actually.
I'll throw a... Hang on, spell slots. I'll throw a third level cure wounds. I've got more of them for some reason.
No, Hunk, but Reggie said before that Maurice is akin to my friend Helga, who is dead.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
In a way, Maurice is not themselves dead, but is to some extent alive.
Is that a magically animated construct? What is there?
I wish I knew.
I'm going to try it anyway. You know, we'll give, little take. I'll use a third level spell because I've got all of them left for some reason. Do a third level cure wounds. My firsts are actually bizarrely more valuable. 14 hit points.
I will say, Reggie, if you are without any hit points, you may receive that 14 through Maurice.
Okay.
But Maurice does not seem affected by it.
Oh well, worth a try.
On the plus side, I feel better, and his gnawing, whatever this is
I mean,
getting to be slightly less.
I mean, Reggie, though, I will put it this way: if I can heal you, that means you aren't actually undead, so that's good.
That does mean that's good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, look on the bright side, perhaps I'm a fearball, just disguising myself as an undead. Who knows?
Okay.
So,
But it is, Reggie, it is a really cool look, yeah. I almost feel like we need jackets with a picture of you on the back. Ride around, and if we find more robot unicorns, this could be a good look for us.
This is, I did it for you, so.
Oh. Well,
Yes.
it's exceptional.
Thank you. Might I say, as much as you look very old, you don't quite look as old as me.
I mean, it is a good point. We are a long time a skeleton, so you're ahead of the curve in many ways.
Oh, yes, exactly. But to avoid becoming more skeletons, might be worth trying to find harmony in bed.
Yeah.
and with that,
that twitch in her eye is getting quite pronounced now.
it is. And with that, you continue down this alley. You do notice some things that seem a bit odd as you're walking. In the cracks between the cobbles, you see where everything is quite dim here, the colour's quite dulled because the Shadowfell is the way it is. You're not dulled, and neither are the pink mushrooms that appear to have been growing from the cracks between the cobbles. But you continue, and you see the Temple of the Raven Queen.
Liz,
which is massive.
Question.
Yes.
Is a shadow magic sorcerer who has canonically part of their magic come from this weird place, favorite part. How does that Do I feel anything? Is there any? Because I imagine part of the lack of Heimlich color and vigor is because of this connection with this place.
Yeah.
Do you want to think of any background radiation stuff?
I don't think any background radiation as such, no. Unless if you wish to be visibly a little bit different through being here, I can leave that choice up to you, but please tell me.
In my head, he's not that colourful anyway, so he probably just blends in a bit more. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Maybe there's... You know, in like video games, when things are moving quickly, there's a cutscene, and there's a slight blur when the arms move. Heimlich is just a little bit like that, with a bit of a ghostly black mist as you move.
Really cool. If Harmony is seeing this and seeing Reggie, can she do her fairly limitless divine sense? By limitless, I mean 6 per long rest. We've still got some to go, and check out how undeady her party are feeling at the moment.
Sure. I think the only party member that I would have a question mark around would be Reggie. So I'll let Sam answer that question.
Question mark around? There's no questions. Reggie is dead and has been for a very long time.
That's not good.
He's not letting it get him down.
As then we're heading in, Harmony will just maneuver along to Reggie and be like, I've been thinking about this, story we were writing together. It's really compelling. Also, Harmony knows she is not fooling Reggie at all. The aim is to be, here's a workaround, not I'm being a patronizing ass. I don't know if she's achieving it, but that's what she's trying. That story we were writing is staying in my head, and I'm wondering, say the skeleton vibe was intensifying the further this hero got into the alternate dimension, until they gave off a really, some might say, alarming sense of being long dead. How much do you think that person's friends would need to worry?
Sometimes in life, we make decisions which have rather dire consequences.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Reggie.
Sometimes in life, we make decisions which may have some dire consequences, but come with benefits. For example, Heimlich might be in the process of destroying the world, if not at the very least Waterdeep. But we're all here. I got a guitar and died. Now, that's where that story ends. And you don't need to worry about my state, as I am cognizant you likely are. I'm still very much myself, albeit in need of a spring clean.
Okay, so I have 2 questions.
Go for it.
Number 1 is, and I mean this with all the love in the world, Reggie.
Oh, go for it.
But you were an incredibly accomplished violinist. Like, you and Heimlich had your whatever, but you were magnificent. And on this nonsense, you can play a sick beat that shouts DJ and throw it at people. Why make that trade would be question number 1.
And would you like question number 2, or would you like question number 1?
Question number 2 is, I guess, maybe a clarification. It's more of a point than a question. No, I guess just my question would be: you've given me great information for, say, if someone was worried about you as a potential threat. How would someone who's just quite cares about you as an old school friend help? What would you like?
So, when we were youths, as I'm sure, having spent time with Heimlich, you're aware, he was
Well, we weren't youth at the same time. He's so old.
Well, yes. Frankly, I have no clue how he aged so much in the last 15 years. I had something to do with the Feywild, but otherwise, who knows? No, he you say I was great. He was great. And there were opportunities I was not afforded as a result of his excellence. Now, those opportunities were not in themselves valuable, but as an opportunity to... Music as a medium is more than just an opportunity to sell a song. It's a chance to help those who are still attached to our material plane to pass to wherever they need to go. And as I was no longer afforded the opportunities I needed to be able to do that, I decided to leave Waterdeep and try to find a more effective means of participating in that act. And in doing so, I found Maurice. And Maurice got me rather excited because I'd never seen anything like Maurice, and Maurice promised me an opportunity to get back at Heimlich. Little did I know that that opportunity would come without me. Alas, I worked all that out, and in the process, I lost my violin, and here I am today with this piece of excellent craftswork, which I can not play, but which can play itself, and with a little bit less of me than I left Waterdeep with. How a friend could help, just by being there, I think is something I've realized was probably important. That my friendship with Heimlich was, I should not have expected anything from him, but just his company. And that actually there were other opportunities and avenues that I could have sought out before leaving town and walking down this long corridor. But alas, we're here now, and I think you're all wonderful people, and I'm glad that I've had the chance to reconnect with you, albeit in a slightly more limber form. Yes. But thank you for asking.
And Reggie, as you make this point, you all do see the Temple of the Raven Queen, although it's dwarfed by the gigantic statues that hold it aloft, each of them naked. They do have capes, though, which is cute. They have capes, which sort of are over obsidian wings that hang down their back.
Capes, wings, nothing else.
It emphasises how naked they are, really, doesn't it?
Look, yeah.
Their sculpted muscles seem to strain beneath the weight of the building that they are literally holding aloft. But you notice that one of them is also naked, but is also the statue that went missing in Waterdeep. It's the Godcatcher. The Godcatcher is there holding this building up with the others. Although you notice there's a big crack going all the way down it because the Godcatcher was not built for this sort of weight.
He found his naked friends.
You also see a set of goth wrought iron spiral stairs that wind their way up what must be thousands of steps. They pass the height of the statues and go up to the door, which I guess you probably won't be able to see from your current angle. But these stairs are next to what looks to be a viscous pool of red, which is situated in the center of the naked toes of the naked statues. Some of them sort of curled round the edge of this sort of blood lake, we'll call it. And you notice a robed clergy person helping a couple of darkly dressed citizens into the pool. Now, I know that we're following the guard, but at this point, Maurice, Reggie, is literally pulling you towards this pool underneath the temple.
Maurice, bath time is later. We have important matters to get to at this moment.
Maurice bamps out and then bamps back about 5 foot away from the pool.
What you forget, Maurice, is you being able to do that is wonderful. It means I don't have to come with you. But I'm getting a very strong vibe that you might like me to.
Maurice, at this point, just dives into the pool.
For goodness sake. I'll be one moment, friends. And Reggie will dash off to the...
Harmony after that is coming with.
I think
Okay.
I would go over and see.
What's Sally doing during all of this?
Yeah.
It's just following, just probably hovering behind everything and taking care of Swifty.
Yeah, Swifty is a bit better. Swifty's able to move at this point to Sally. But if you're following everyone else, that's totally fine. So Reggie,
Yes.
as you reach the edge of the pool, the keytar emerges back out, though you notice that the black keys are textured now. They're textured as if by feathers, black feathers. It kind of floats towards you and floats into your hands. It is drenched in red and it kind of slowly drips off. But you get a sensation in your mind along with the heartbeat that's been going all this time. And you hear a whisper. She approves. And you have received the blessing of the Raven Queen.
I'm very glad she approves, but I'd like to let her know I do bat for the other team. I'm afraid I would much rather thank you.
The other team for Vecna?
Just so you know, blessing of the Raven. Blessing of the Raven Queen. By throwing your keytar as an action, you may magically teleport along with any equipment you are wearing up to 30 foot to an unoccupied space you can see. With the keytar in your hands again, until the start of your next turn, you appear ghostly and gain resistance to all damage. That's 1 per short rest.
1 per short rest.
That's cracking.
That's beautiful.
The rest of you watch as Reggie, there's little downy tufts of the under feathers sort of growing from where Reggie probably would have a beard and mustache. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And Maurice, I like your new paint job.
You just hear quite deep breathing, like Darth Vader style. So the rest of you have watched Reggie transform once again.
I would mutter under my breath, that was so metal. But I don't know what that means.
I think I'd probably, again, side to either Harmony or Tesele, since they're both there. This kind of... I feel like this is all very much what Reggie needed.
Sally would say, why nobody is betting money on what he does?
That is a really good point. What do you want to bet? What happens next?
We all get cursed.
Okay, how much money are you putting on that?
10 gold pieces.
Okay,
and the ring.
Oh.
Right, I'll take that. I'll just say we don't. No, and I'll say that next Reggie grows some kind of strange hair. He's already got the feathers, but next time it'll be hair.
I'd take that bet, but just 2 gold. I think it could happen, but maybe not.
Okay.
So, friends, Temple, we'll chat about that another time.
Okay.
Got a little something.
What?
You got some red on you.
I've got I'll cast prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. Yes.
Prestidigitation.
Just to check, is it all stairs? Is it stairs all the way up? Is there no...
I do have one idea, if you're willing.
Sure.
That smile is so
Especially consider there's no gums.
How high up is do the stairs go?
I'm going to say 300 foot.
I can do it twice. I'd like to cast Thunderstep twice with Hunk as a willing accomplice.
Sure, I don't know what's happening.
90 feet plus 90 feet, please.
You can absolutely do that. Just before you make that decision, what I will just say is the Raven Guard that you were talking to is currently
right
at ground level, yes. You can absolutely do that if you want to with Hunk, but he appears to be talking to an old lady. And they both kind of look at you. So based on that, Reggie, would you still want to make your Thunderstep jaunt?
Grasp the hunk. The feet are starting to, or rather, like vibrations are starting to well out from Reggie's feet before he notices this old lady has a moment and thinks, what a moment, Hello there, lady. My name is Reginald Peggio. These are our friends. Why have you stopped our friend from taking us to where we're going?
You see quite an unassuming woman. She's got this knitted open brown cardigan. You see she's got a little handkerchief stuffed up the sleeve. And she's got this massive backpack on, like over a little knitted cardigan. And she's got like a hooded patterned shawl over her shoulders and hair. She's got this thick chestnut brown woolen skirt that's kind of pulled all the way up to underboob kind of region. And it just sort of grazes the tops of her ankles. And she's wearing these like quite sensible flat beige leather shoes. But the backpack that she's got on is like this assortment of satchels and bags, and it piles high over her head. And you see just for an instant the face of a small bright green rat kind of poke its head out of one of the bags and then duck back in and scurry through the other ones.
God, I love her already.
And she says, "Oh, hello, love. You can call me Granny. I was just talking to Isaiah here about well, you lot, and Isaiah tells me that you need to know some things."
Pray tell.
Well, and she looks behind you to the rooftops.
I'll turn around.
Yeah.
Wholly eye contact with her.
Oh, she does. You know, she's got one of those like little blisters on one of her eyelids.
Oh.
It's one of those things. But when you look behind you, Hunk, you see something that was not there before. A lot of gargoyles are now placed on the rooftops, and just in the corner of your eye, you see their kind of faces moving your direction. Granny at this point sort of says, "So, if you'd like to escort an old woman to her B&B, I could certainly use the assistance." And she's like nodding at you quite. "I could certainly use, if you could escort an old woman home, she would very much appreciate it."
I'm going to do a slight lean to look at, was it Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Isaiah, thank you.
Yep.
I will do a slight lean to look at Isaiah and catch Isaiah's eye with a kind of, you said we should go to the temple. Should we go with the old lady? Kind of, you gave us the score. I'm trying to work out what the score now is.
As impressive gesturing from what is essentially a bull's face.
Yeah.
Granny, sorry. Isaiah at this point just kind of he puts his arm around Granny, and the little rat kind of hops on top of his arm and looks at you, and he just sort of says, "Granny is the wisest woman I know. She can certainly help."
So Harmony is not very wise at all, and I don't think he's very good at subtext. So she's just gone, a fragile old lady needs escorting home. That is a job for a knight of mystery. And it's like, obviously.
Do you pick her up? That's my question.
No, that would be petulant. And would not respect her bodily autonomy.
But she watches you as you're sort of...
Consent.
Yeah. She watches you as you're posturing to sort of follow, and she kind of dawdles up to you and links her little arm in hers. She comes up to about the height of Swifty with her hunchback.
I mean, if she does that, then Harmony will go, "Would you like a lift?"
Well, I wouldn't say no.
I will carry the small old lady.
Now, she's got a lot on her back. Could you just make a strength check for me?
Yes, I could. Check or saving throw?
Oh, sorry, check.
Disappointing. That is +2, so that's not amazing. It's 15.
15. Okay. The rest of you watch. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hunk, how do you help? Because you do see that Harmony is like beginning to. It's weird. Strain under the weight of a very little old lady.
I will come over and I'm used to carrying things with Harmony, so I'm very tall and Harmony is not. So there'll be a certain amount of Harmony's like shouldering something, I'll just hold out in front of me, and it's about the same height. So there'll be a certain amount.
If I have her on a piggyback and you're just like holding the backpack up,
I'll be supporting the backpack. I'm supporting the backpack.
The backpack is. I'm sorry, Ali, go for it.
Teseli noticed this is a really weird situation, and that comes from Teseli. So Teseli whistles, and Swifty turns into a pony, and he's like, "Why don't we take the lady in the pony, and you can carry her stuff between you two?"
It's a good idea.
Oh,
I've always wanted to ride on a pony.
Right. Down we go.
Oh, it suits you. Come on, Ratty, come here. And she holds out a little shaking hand, and the little green rat kind of hops off the set of backpacks and kind of just hides down a blouse, and you see his little head poking out as she climbs aboard Swifty.
Teseli's gonna help her to go on top, and Teseli will clearly show the ring, or like the hand with the ring, to help her go up on top.
Does anybody want to make a perception check during this? I guess, Teseli, you would be the only person looking for it.
My passive 17.
My passive's 19, and I'd probably be watching this because
I'd like to, but I'd also really like to be paying attention to the rat and whether there are any more of them which I could take with me.
Okay, let's say a perception check from Teseli. The rest of you, I'll take your passive perceptions, and we'll go from there.
Good, I got a 11.
11. You notice that her eyes lighten up. She seems to recognize the ring. The rest of you, what's your passive?
17.
19.
14.
11.
Everyone but Harmony, you notice that there's a look of recognition and also sadness.
Okay.
The 19, also fear. But you're not sure what of. She says to you, Teseli, "Oh, so does it have anything for me to make it go? What do I do?"
Further and beyond. Just say those words.
Right, well, so Swifty begins to walk kind of towards the pool, and she's, "No, love, no, we need to go over there."
Yeah, right. This way, Swifty.
Okay. So eventually, a bit of teething problems with Swifty to start off with, but eventually you are taken north. You go past the Temple of the Raven Queen and approach another huge wall. Now, this has got a similar gate to the one that you came through. So the face emerges within the gate. It opens its mouth, and at this point, Granny's like, "No, love, no, thank you. If you could just let us through. I don't want any of your jip today, sweet pea. If you could, yeah, that's it. There we go." And the door immediately kind of swings open, not giving her any feedback back. And you move into the next district of the city. She goes on to tell you, "Oh, so we've just been in the Temple District, as you probably well know, and we are moving on." She's beginning to tour guide for you. "We're moving on to the Fettered Ward, which is where I live." You pass a gloomy area, and you see the street sign called Avenue of Chains, and it looks aptly so. It's got like chains from one side to fettered.
I heard fetid, and I was like, "Wow."
Sorry, what was it? I thought it was fetid as well.
Fettered. F-E-T-T-E-R-E-D.
Not F-E-T-A apostrophe D.
Yes, full of cheese.
That sounds like a great place to live.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds
I mean,
awful. Everything is cheese.
It's now canon. But you pass the Avenue of Chains and you make a left. And you end up in like a little cul-de-sac. This place kind of stops at the end. It's lit by multiple motes of pink and purple, sort of dancing lights, if you will, that flit through the sky. So she sort of, "Darling, could you please just tell me how to stop it? Because we're nearly there."
Teseli whistles and Swifty stops.
Okay, so you come to a stop in this little cul-de-sac. So there's quite a few drab, tired buildings as ever around you, but in stark comparison, there is a larger wooden building that's been painted bright pink and bright green, and it's got these 3 large barrel vats outside it, and they seem to be bubbling on the inside and steaming out of the top. There's a small flower plant garden in front, kind of lined by, again, a green and a pink fence. And above the door, on the shingles of the teal roof, you see a huge sign that appears to have been painted by a shaky hand, and it reads "Granny's Boiled and Brewed." And she hops off swiftly and begins to make her way inside. She kind of shuffles her way and says, "Come on then, come on in."
Yeah, enter.
Hello.
Okay. Hunk and Heimlich, you do notice that there are a couple of gargoyles that have been just slowly following you. But you enter into this quite quaint space. It looks like an alchemy lab. Or an alchemy shop even. There are rows and rows and rows of shallow shelves, and all of them are rammed with vials and jars of strange substances. One of them has a little eyeball in that follows you as you walk around. There are loads of alchemist tools scattered around. And amongst all of this scene, there are 3 teal and pink soft chairs. A few bar stools have been upcrafted to have a little cushion on. And Granny kind of shuffles over to where there's a stove, and she kind of hoys this massive kettle pot and puts it on. So then, tell me who you are and why you're here, because, I mean, you look dreadful for one, and also, you're not from here. Would anyone like tea, by the way? Because I've got a pot on.
Oh, yes, tea would be most welcome. Thank you.
Yes,
Sure, I'll have a
please.
tea.
I like it, but yes.
Would you like help making it?
Oh, no, love, you sit yourself down, Flower. You look very tired.
I am very tired.
Yeah, you look it. Yeah, she doesn't mean to be offensive, but it's just shit she says.
It's not coming. Harmony's going, yes, recognition. I am exhausted. I've killed so many things.
You've got a little bit of splatter here, darling. I don't know if you're aware, but
Sorry.
Granny, before we tell you about our reasons for finding ourselves here and where we have come from, I noticed the creatures inhabiting the rooftop seem to be very interested in you. Are we safe here?
the thing about the City of Midnight is that normally, yes, you are safe, but she's clearly very interested in you.
Who now?
Being the Queen of the Ravens.
No, lovey. No, she kind of like pats your little hand as you say that. No, the ruler of the city, Lady Babington.
Right.
She never used to be ruler of this city. She sort of usurped the last ruler, Prince Roland. Lovely man. Lovely man. Bit harsh, but lovely man.
How long ago?
Oh, 5 years or so. 5 years ago.
And why is she interested in us? We just got here. Like, we're nobodies.
I have a quick timeline check. How long ago was the Heimlich incident?
10 years ago.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, Hunk, what was your question?
This time work in Shadowfell versus the material plane.
Who can say?
Plain and bullshit.
We just got here. Like, we're nobodies. Like,
And tell me how you got here, Petal.
from Waterdeep, we walked.
Is it a long way? Does it come with any sort of mysterious, odd sort of effects?
Like a column of smoke with lots of weird stuff. Yeah, that was happening. That's why we're here to stop.
Yeah, there seems to be an intrusion of elements of this plane into our plane. I do not know if you have undertaken much planar travel before, but it is quite of worry to people in our city.
She's not let go of your hand, by the way, Heimlich, and she just sort of holds it and pets it again as you say that. And she just looks into your eyes and says, I'm not from here either, darling. I know what it's like. the way you've
Might
got... Sorry.
Sorry, I might add, there's one feature which we have been experiencing at home, but since we arrived, you said she looks tired.
Oh, yes. And that one looks very old. I don't know why.
Peculiarly old. And that's even by my standards. No, see, we tried to bed down after an incident, and no one could sleep. And under normal circumstances, perhaps they were a bit wired. But you see, I don't need to sleep. And I couldn't, regardless of the fact that I tried very, very hard.
No one can sleep in the Shadowfell, darling. Not even you with your skull and bones. But there are ways and means. Now, the nobles of the city have more ways and means than others. They party all day, party all night. Lady Babington's got her never-ending masquerade. But for those like you and me who are not from here, and for others, well, I might be able to rustle something up for you. And she kind of shuffles on over to one of the cupboards, and she opens one of the drawers and picks out what looks like a little leather wrap, and she unwraps it on the counter, and you see 9 identical vials which look like they contain absolutely nothing, and she just looks up at you beaming.
Is everyone else seeing what I'm seeing?
What are we meant to put in there?
Oh, they're very full. I call them my mixtapes. She looks so giddy about it. Well, you drink them and you can hear them. And I've picked out all the good divas of old that I used to listen to in the Feywild.
Oh, so you came to the Shadowfell from the Feywild?
Oh, yes. I mean, it wasn't really intentional. I just sort of, I was in a coven, and I didn't really like doing wrongs to people that didn't deserve it. So I sort of ran away, like any good coward would, and, well, as a qualified hag, I thought I'd make use of my skills.
I'm really sorry. As you said, I'm very sleepy. I'm going to need this.
I know, darling. You look terrible.
Being the backbone of a party does take it out of you after a while. I need this spelling out for me one more time. We drink these empty vials, and then we hear some Feywild singing, and then
you get the full effect of what would be considered to be a long rest.
How?
Magic.
Can I insight? I'm not very good.
Yeah, of course you can.
Harmony is confused and tired and mistrustful.
Of course.
21.
She is being truthful. And she even sort of goes on to say, like, out of the goodness of my heart, I know what it's like being new in a city like this. You're going to need some help, especially if you want to get back home. And she kind of waves her hand over these vials. And you see them change from how they normally look to something quite different. One of them, they all seem to have the same label on, which reads Granny's Mixtapes, at long rest in a bottle, music to the ears. And there's some very tiny writing on there, caution some side effects may occur. But
Sure.
She casts her hands over the bottle. The first is, it kind of transforms to a small black bottle with a round base and a thin neck. A label on it reads, Curse Me Baby One More Time, by the famous bard Brotney Spores. The second bottle becomes furry, and you see hyena spots and tufty ears on the neck of the bottle. The label reads, If I Were a Knoll, by Diva Extraordinaire Bouncy Knolls. The third bottle has a wolf's head for a stopper with snarling teeth, and it reads, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Werewolf by Aru Franklin. The fourth bottle seems to favour being upside down. You notice it can sort of double as a mirror. On the non-reflective side, the label reads, I'm so vain. And then in brackets, I bet you think this label is about you, by Snarly Simon. The fifth bottle is called...
I am here for.
The sixth bottle is called Simply the Worst, and it sort of transforms as she puts her little hand over it to like a jagged, dangerous looking thing with sharp edges around the rim. That's by Mina Turnter. The The seventh is shaped like a tall kite shield, almost angelic in appearance, but there's slight wisps of dark energy as she puts her hand over the top of it. The label reads Paladin Don't Preach by Mad Donna One Earring. The eighth is shaped like an anatomical heart. She picks this one up and you see it visibly beating in her hand. The label reads My Heart Will Go On, I Hope by Deline Sion. And the last one, the ninth, she looks resistant whether to give it to you or not. But she does put her hand over it and it reads, Shut Up and Die. It's a banged up bottle shaped like a skull and it seems to exude dark energy. So these are my mixtapes. Now there's some shit songs in it and there's some good songs, well, sort of good songs in it. And she kind of indicates which are the bad ones and which are the not so bad ones. I'll tell you that in a moment. But
thank you.
You're welcome, my darling. Now they do come with side effects, and I mentioned there are shit ones and some not so shit ones, and well, you might be able to figure out what they are, but I never know. When I brew one of these up, I never know what the side effect is going to be. I'd like to think it's a nice surprise.
So, you're helping us to do what exactly?
So there's Lady Babington.
I mean, you mentioned. Okay, I'm aware of her presence.
This is the person who controls the gargoyles.
She controls a lot in this city. She looks after the gargoyles. She looks a bit reluctant to start talking at this point. Who rolled those high insight checks for the ring? The high perception checks for the ring or the high passive? Yeah, okay. I'll say the two of you, Hunk and Heimlich. The same look on her face appears when she starts talking at this point. She goes on to say, well, when Lady Babington turned up, she was a nobody. She just turned up out of the blue. She showed up with an invention she said she created, but no one quite believes that. The cadence. You might have heard what's his face talking about it in the square. Well, it used to just transplant souls from one thing to another. But she's been tweaking with it. She's been finding ways of doing other things, and I think you're here because of this. Does that make any sense to you?
No, but that's not a bad thing. Sounds like we gotta go talk to her.
Have you ever seen this cadence? Is it an object?
When I first got here, I found good work in the kitchens of the castle by Prince Roland. Lovely man. And well, Lady Babington turned up and she wanted to show her magical contraption and she wanted to show him how good it was. And yes, I've seen it. It's a big, jagged, whopping great thing, horrible. And well, she'd been tinkering with it and she tore his soul out from him. Normally it's meant to go into some undead, but she just sent it away. The soul is now gone. And she cast his body out into the wasteland. And from then on, people didn't dare mess with Lady Babington. She controls the cadence.
So it was a coup?
I suppose so. That's the noise that what pigeons make, isn't it, darling?
Sorry, this is probably my accent, or possibly the homonym nature of the homophone nature of the word. Like it is a revolution that she performed, but just of one person.
I suppose so, yes. I mean, she did turn up with someone, but he went very quickly after that. I don't know who that was. Did people accept this change of rulership? She held your hand again. I don't think people had much of a choice, darling, and she pats your hand again.
It is powerful.
Me and some other girls, we escaped through the kitchen cellars, we escaped, but some of the butlers are still there. They didn't get much choice in where they were going. They just had to stay.
So we gotta go talk to her about this cadence thing, or if talking's not a good idea, go and do something about it, I guess.
She can use a machine to remove your soul from your body. I do not know.
She can do it to do other things as well, love. We keep seeing pink and purple flashes in the sky, and then purple mushrooms appear, and grandfather clocks that shouldn't be here keep arriving, and all sorts of nonsense.
Is she from this plane? Is she a citizen of the Shadowfell?
I don't think she is.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't look it.
And as a resident of the Feywild, is she familiar to you?
No. She's not as nice as me.
No. I mean...
Well, let's go start with the conversation. I think all things can be sorted with a nice conversation, and then, well, if we can, I'll gesture at Harmony.
Harmony will look over at Tisele and go, well, if she's got some scary machines, we do seem to have our resident machine expert.
That's a good point.
And you can't remove a soul from a body, and someone doesn't have one.
Yes.
That's very correct, love.
You have a ringer.
But you'll need to be careful getting in. It's very protected. She does have a never-ending masquerade, which, you all look the sort. Don't take that the wrong way. She watches as Reggie laughs. Sorry, my love. Or you could get a personal invitation, but I don't think she
haven't been to a party in a long time.
If there's a party, that seems like a good way in. Let's.
How does one get into the masquerade?
Well, you have to buy a mask, and you have to buy a fancy outfit. Now, I can find a map for you if you want to go on a shopping spree.
If that's the way in, that's the way in.
More than anything.
Oh, I like you, love. You and your non-existent eyes. And she picks up a pamphlet from the side, which looks like an advertising thing for her shop. It's not. It's just a map of the Gloomwrought, but she's written in her own handwriting, Granny's B&B, and put a big circle around where she is. But you now are proud owners of the map of the Gloomwrought.
Awesome.
Is there anything anybody would like to do in this moment as she's sort of rummaging around and gathering things for you?
Harmony's just sidling towards the potions.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's have a quick look at these potions.
Granny, I don't know if you're familiar with the magic of identify. Would that help us figure out what more is happening with each of these items?
It should do, yes. Do tell me what they do, because I have no idea.
When you label them about this, this one will die and this one's the worst, is that a...
Oh, it's just the name of the song. It's just the name of the song, I think.
Okay,
I don't know.
This one, hey, you'll have a long rest, but then you're dead.
I mean, what's life without a bit of peril, darling? That's what I always say.
You make a good point.
I know.
Look, if the Britney Spears one doesn't make us wear a Britney Spears outfit after we've drunk it, then I don't know what the point of it was.
Sorry.
Could we perchance share one of these, or do you think it would be best to be consumed by one? And also, could one receive its benefits if they were not capable of actually ingesting the product?
I'm sure you'll find a way and a means, darling, yes. She goes on to tell you that you can quaff these as a bonus action. You do not have to hold them as an item. If one of the party is holding them, if you're within 60 foot of them, you can use a bonus action to quaff one of the potions. Heimlich, do you want to just cast Identify twice? You'll be able to identify the shit ones and the not so shit ones.
Yeah, if we don't mind 20 minutes,
I've got all the time in the world, darling. It's fine.
Yeah,
We'll cast Mending in the meanwhile.
Of course you can, yeah, do it. Swifty comes back. Oh, he's nice, isn't he? He's an egg.
He is indeed an egg.
Probably cast it quite a few times because it's 20 minutes of ritual cast, or 22.
While we wait, could I just take some time to talk to you about your rat?
I'm sorry, love, I didn't quite get that question.
We can do that off camera. It's fine.
Rat.
Filth.
No,
Utter filth.
Do you mean Ratty? Of course you can ask me about Ratty.
Do you have another one?
No, it's just the one. Why?
Well, I was just wondering if he'd be more capable than myself of banging out a tune on this here instrument. And I hold out the guitar towards the rat. I've always liked the idea of forming a double act, triple act in this case, and there's just some charm about him, something in his eyes.
He does have nice eyes, darling. He does.
Like you and myself.
No, but he's mine, I'm afraid. I can offer you some.
Okay.
I can offer you some rat's eyes if that's what you're after, or some rat's teeth, or some rat's tails, or some rat's fur. And she gestures over to one of the shelves that has
How much
many,
would the
many
rat's
balls.
eyes cost?
For you, darling, nothing. You can have them.
Can I take them and put them in my sockets?
How many do you put in each socket?
Just one.
Okay.
In each.
Well, Granny kind of rummages around in a drawer and gets some like elastic gum, like made from fat, and just puts it in your eye. Let me just help you for just 1 second. Come on, and she sticks them on for you.
I just thought if I was to try to wear a mask, it might be worth having some eyes.
I mean,
Anyway.
you look like you're wearing an amazing mask already. Why not just
Thank you kindly, Heinrich. As do you.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
It's the only explanation as to why you look quite so old.
At the conservatory.
So, Heimlich, having cast Identify twice, I will give these later, and we can find a way of giving this to everybody else too. But first one, Curse Me Baby one more time. In combat, an enemy can attack you one more time per round. But you get the full benefits of a long rest. That applies to all of them. These do not stack. The second one, if I were a gnoll, you get cute hyena ears, but your charisma, ability checks, and saving throws are done at disadvantage due to your constant cackling laugh.
No.
You make me feel like an actual werewolf. You look and feel like a hybrid wolf lycanthrope for 24 hours. Your spell attacks are done at disadvantage due to the newly found ungainly limbs, but you do gain the claw attack feature, which is your strength modifier. Next one, I'm So Vain by Snarly Simon. You cannot help but look at yourself in every single reflective surface you see. Distracted in this way, you have disadvantage on any attacks made with a shiny weapon or any attacks against anyone wearing shiny objects or armor. Cursed Bitch by Brotney Spears. I don't know if we came across that one earlier, but while cursed, you have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws made with the charisma ability score. You also have disadvantage on attacks against everything.
Ooh.
That one's dark.
This is the shit playlist now. Simply the Worst by Mina Turnter. A raging fever sweeps through your body. You have disadvantage on strength checks, strength saving throws, and attack rolls that use strength. Paladin Don't Preach. Your god is prevented from communication with you. None of your spells or divine feats work. You also cannot benefit from any features, traits, or spells cast by a paladin. They simply don't work.
What?
My heart will go on.
Played.
I hope. You have disadvantage on death saves and the emergency use only. Shut up and die. Con save or negative energy courses through you, putting you in searing pain. You take 7d10 plus 13 necrotic damage on a fail, or half as much damage on a success. Anyone killed by this rises as a zombie on your next turn.
45 damage, probably. Good
Hopefully.
lord.
Harmony feels less
Hang
tired.
on. 70, 10 plus 30, it's 75.
Plus 30?
Yeah, it's 75
Good
damage on average.
lord.
And I think with the shot clock on all of your faces, that is where we're going to stop for today.
That would kill me.
And then you come back as a zombie. Oh no,
Yeah.
you already are.
You come back as a zombie and
fine.
stay as a zombie forever.
If you come back as undead,
Yes.
you can't be revived.
Right.
But if you're already undead,
You're not
Yeah.
undead, you're reborn.
We'll divvy
That's-
these up in the break.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
But thanks for watching, folks. I've just
Yeah,
shell-shocked the
thanks.
party. Thank you to everyone for joining us and being part of the Bardic Chaos that was today's show. If you enjoyed this show, thank you for watching. The next Tuesday show will be Ancient Antics.
Yes.
The next Tuesday show will be Ancient Antics.
No, it won't. No, we're ahead now. It's the new Warriors of Waterdeep season. Descent into the hardcoiled deeps.
The next Tuesday show will be
Warriors of Waterdeep descend to the Heartcoil Deep. I just said it.
There we go. Awesome. That will be every Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time or 10 a.m. Pacific. We will be playing every other Monday, and in the in-between weeks, so next week, Noir will be DMing Into the Sunset on Mondays, also from 6 p.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific. Same time on Fridays, we have Talk Together, our chat show where we interview our players, DMs, and other TTRPG industry voices. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of our shows available everywhere. You know what to search. I've said it many times, but it's Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There will be a link in chat now. Do join them because every penny helps us make the content that we do. They even set a fandom wiki up for us.
And a fan Discord. Yeah.
A fan Discord, which is so cool. Big thanks again to our sponsors Hero Forge Ultra Pro and Elderwood Academy, and our supporters D&D Beyond, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. Don't forget, we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching, and we are going to see you in 2 weeks.